Hopefully not.
Okay, and we are recording. Now, as we left off, you guys just got to the realm of Dolph Giraffe,
No.
known wasteland.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and as advertised, it is exactly that. Just a sweeping expanse of plain tan to grayish slate stone, looks like. Very flat and barren, a couple of rocks or boulders strewn across the landscape at odd intervals in the distance. Nothing really very close, very unremarkable. There's gray clouds overcast through the sky, no breeze, no dust.
It's a light and light.
Say again?
The light.
Similar to what a cloudy day would be. I mean, there's a grayish overcast, but you can still see.
Cool.
Visibility is incredibly good. There's no atmosphere to interfere. You can see very far. It's a little disorienting. There's no sound. With the exception of Aurora and anyone else with heightened hearing, you can hear there's something flowing beneath the ground.
Okay.
Water?
No,
I didn't think it was.
most definitely not water. You don't sense any water here. This area.
Reaching down to the
Very-
ground hot.
Yes.
Lava.
Um, so I don't know about you all. I'm not really equipped for a fight. So if you guys are okay, if we can just rest short time.
And Brasana gives a thumbs up.
Okay. I'm gonna quickly, just because I don't know what's around us, ritually cast the dome.
Lehman's Hut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which takes 10 minutes.
I'm gonna stand guard while she does this.
Same.
Okay.
While they do that, is there any boulders or anything I could stand on to try and get a clear view?
Not really close, but you can see several. The closest one, and you have to guess. Again, visibility is a little weird because the air is so clear in the absence of atmosphere. You're guessing maybe a quarter mile away. There's a pretty tall one.
All right, that's too much. Never mind.
You can see pretty clear from a good distance. There's flat stone every direction as far as the eye can see. Some rocks strewn about here and there.
Nothing alarming in the distance. I mean,
No.
well,
A painful
imminent.
opposite of that. It looks just desolate and boring and depressing.
Okay.
I mean, the clouds in the sky aren't even moving. They're just kind of sitting there.
Mm.
Once the dome is up, 10 minutes later, if nothing attacks us while we're sitting there, I'm then going to attempt to take half an hour to change out my 7th level spell.
Okay. 10-minute casting of the spell is not a problem. And you guys look around, it's plenty of time to get very bored and realize that nothing's moving, nothing's happening.
Talia would have a swig.
Is everyone stepping inside the hut?
Yes. Well, I
And
am.
The same color and the texture of the landscape around us to hopefully try to blend in. So it's not just
Yeah,
a
it's
sore spot in the landscape.
everything's so bland, it's really easy. You know, there's any shade of gray or tan, and you look like a rock.
Perfect.
About 10 minutes in, you start your meditation, and Brasana does sit down next to the fire, and you notice her meditating as well. You know that she's a sorceress, but you've never actually seen her do any of this stuff before.
Right.
But to your disappointment, it's not anything spectacular. It's very typical of what it is. Who else was with you guys besides Brasana? NPC wise?
Makiko.
That's what I thought. Now, a small issue. I've introduced Makiko here as an elf. Her original character sheet says that she is a dragonborn. So
Oh,
I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. We're gonna have to talk to her. You can talk to her
yes.
on Discord and find out where she wants to land with that, and I will address it and fix it as soon as we know.
Okay.
But currently, still being an elf, she promptly takes a swig of whatever bottle you have out, Talia, assuming you don't deny her. And
I don't deny her, but I suggest another bottle that she might like.
which bottle are you going to offer her?
You know which bottle I'm willing to offer her.
The nighttime bottle?
Yeah, and that
Are we not going to go out for a fight?
She takes it.
okay.
Hard pull. And we all watch.
I'm meditating. I'm not paying any attention.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
So it's already happened.
Yeah, well, elf or dragonborn, she is sleeping quite
Elves
soundly.
can't be magical.
Remember we discussed
Oh,
it
that's
with
right.
this drink?
Sorry.
I put the cork on the bottle and put it away.
Stop doing that. You just gotta stop doing that. That's not cool.
She wanted a drink. Yeah, okay. You have the one drink I won't drink.
You realize she's going to hurt you when she wakes up.
Or be really impressed with that drink.
No, I think she's gonna hurt you.
I don't see why it can't be both.
Yeah, I'll take a swig of my rum, not the sleepy drink.
All right. Well, what are we doing with Makiko since she is out cold?
Can stay on the ground until my casting.
Here she comes.
Ain't nowhere else to put her.
Yeah, put it in your pocket to eat you.
Yeah.
How many she's going to the mansion? Let's see. Done.
I feel safer with her being in your pocket. to eat you.
I can't do it. I'm meditating.
The thing is, I didn't need to use any deception or anything. I just willingly offered, and she was like, "Oh, sure."
Okay. How much time are you guys taking in the hut? Yeah, you mentioned a short rest earlier.
I'm just doing 30 minutes in the hut. And then as soon as my spell sting's over, I'm casting Magnificent Mantle.
Okay.
And then we're gonna we'll decide when we're in there. We're gonna take a short long rest.
Okay. You want a safer place?
Yes.
Feel
Mhm.
that. 10-4 rubber ducky. That takes 30 minutes to cast.
No, it takes 30 minutes to switch out my spell. And then
How
it's an
long?
instant cast.
Okay, very good. All right, 30 minutes. What are you guys doing?
Poking my head out every now and then, just having a look around.
Concentration check. Don't stress. It's a simple DC. I'll explain after you roll.
Wookie. Beautiful.
Oh, just in time.
That's a D8. What am I rolling that for? That's something I need to roll. I need to roll much better. 49.
Rock and roll. You don't have any issues maintaining concentration on the spell or on your meditation for switching your spells out. You do, however, you're aware of the fact, as are all of you, that the ground shakes. Nothing too violent, but there is a bit of a mild earthquake.
Yeah, definitely don't want to rest here.
Doesn't last for very long, but other than that, it's completely boring, right back to normal. You do notice people that aren't meditating that have their eyes open shortly after the earthquake. There is a rain of ash that falls from the clouds, very thin dusting, almost like snow, but it seems to be ash or stone dust of some sort.
Okay.
You don't smell it or taste it. You see it visually. And with the necklaces that you were given, it doesn't actually make it to your mouth. Do you guys want to do anything else during the half an hour, or just wait until she's done?
It was just keeping watch. From the looks of it, a volcano has just erupted.
I'm gonna pull out my journal and then write a little bit, and it's one of the first times Chico's written in her journal in a long time.
Yeah, it is. She hasn't documented much since her obsession.
Yeah.
Well,
Different journal too.
Huh. I think I'll write in my notebook also. Be a
oh,
long
wow.
time
Breaking
since
out
I
the
wrote
book.
in my notebook, my magical notebook.
Yeah, very, very long time.
We were kids last time you used that.
All right.
No, no,
you
we
pulled
were
that out of there.
in the when you guys came in there and you and Jico came in, I was on guard. I jotted down what was on the wall when we first encountered the armor.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Jico got those obsessed swords.
All right. Nothing else happens. You are able to finish your spells.
Okay.
Prasanna is still meditating when you finish and go to cast your mansion.
Okay. It takes a minute to cast my mansion.
Okay.
But yeah, then when that cast is done, you guys see just, which I think, no, it can't be concentration. It's 24 hours long. Yeah. Inside the dome, a blue like doorway glitters into existence, but it almost looks like ocean waves are flowing through the door. It just kind of like comes in and out through your sight. Well, somewhere safe to rest. None of you have ever seen this before.
What is this? Okay. I zip over to it and open it.
You open it and immediately walk into just a vast garden of wildflowers.
Ooh, that's pretty.
And then on opposite side of the garden, there is a staircase that walks up into a like almost looks like naturally carved stone building.
Ooh.
We're safe to rest. Should stay for a day, I think. Pretty sure that's how the magic works. Kind of just fly by the seat of my pants most of the time. But everyone should have a room. Rest in, relax, cleaned up.
Nice.
Before, we just rush into a fight that kills. I look back as Prasanna's still meditating.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll wait with her until she's done before going inside myself, but everyone else feel free to explore.
I'll still wait outside until you guys go in.
It takes her about 10 or 15 more minutes to finish the particular part that she was working on.
I just sit down in front of her, cross legs, my elbows on my knees. Begrudgingly.
When she stops and opens her eyes, flinches a little bit. Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
good. You done?
Where's everybody else?
I just point to the door. It's still open.
Well, I'm just staying inside the hut. I didn't go through the door.
But the whole point of this is for us to go through the door.
Yeah, it's safer in there.
Where did the door come from? Oh, okay. She pops up and casually walks through. She looks it up and down.
No one else can see it either. Just us.
Now I go through the door.
And I follow after everyone else.
Okay, when you two walk in, you see a completely different side of Prasanna. Almost reminiscent of a younger surface girl playing around in a field of flowers. She's just running through, smacking flower petals and sniffing at them and
With the
Not
flowers?
violently, just when they're in, run through the flowers and stuff like that. And
Right. Quick question. Did we put Makiko in the pocket dimension?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I was
We
gonna
can take
say.
her out and put her in here now, though, so when she wakes up,
Yeah.
no. I'll take Makiko's unconscious body to the guest room that I had for her.
okay.
Like I said, everyone's got a room. It should stay here for 24 hours. We can rest as long as we need to. I think I'm going to spend a little bit more time meditating to change out a few more spells.
Yeah, could definitely use some time to change out my spells.
Is that how that works for you?
Well, sort of.
I mean, I don't know how any of the person learning every day.
I have some options.
I also need to talk to you at some point.
I'm sure we can make time.
When I find a room away from everyone, I'm gonna methodically check my ammo, my weapons, my armor, and also do a little meditating, just like thinking about everything.
Okay, you have a room just for you.
Okay.
And for the little time that Aurora has known you, the only things that she has gathered from you in terms of like your style and likes is a lot of black and shadows. So your room reflects that.
Don't get the booze.
Oh, well, no, I wouldn't forget. So yeah, the room is all in black, but it's on the like lower side of extravagant, but it's very nice. But the main focus of the room is actually a small, well, not medium-sized mini bar. But it you notice every time you go to take something from it, it immediately replaces itself.
Okay. I would only look, I wouldn't drink because I still don't trust it.
Guilty conscience, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know my tactics. I know my drink's safe as well.
All right. If memory serves, this is kind of like a pocket dimension, right?
It is. It's its own space.
Very cool.
Its own
And the
thing.
entryway is completely secluded from anybody that wants to look for it that you don't approve.
Yes.
Okay.
It's invisible.
And how long do we have it for?
24 hours.
24 hours, a full day, completely safe and free with just the group of you and Persona.
I don't know if we need to spend the full 24 hours in here.
I say we do.
I don't have a time schedule outside of the event.
I say we take a full rest.
Full rest, I can understand. A full day is something completely different.
We'll take a full rest and see what we do after that.
Okay.
We don't know.
I'm just really worried about how time works here. If time works differently in the abyss, we could show back up in our world and the wedding be over. It terrifies me to no end.
So needless to say, we probably want to spend as little time here as possible.
Terribly, I mean, not only for that, but it's the abyss, and I don't want to be here any longer than we have to be.
Agreed.
I mean, do you see an extra benefit in staying the full 24 hours?
Just to spend a day. Just to take a day.
And say we vote, decide.
I don't have anything planned for a day. I'm just saying. Yeah, a vote sounds good,
I
right?
think we take a nice rest.
No, we can decide.
Yeah.
We take a rest and then we push on.
Let's take the rest, and then we'll see where we're all at that point.
Right, I don't think anybody's been damaged beyond the point that a full rest would heal.
Mm,
But we can go ahead and reset hit points, regain energy points. Don't forget to reset modifiers from the shared love.
right, I'll recast it as soon as we leave, so.
Because obviously we've had a long rest, I'll have my spells back. Or would it be the same day, so I wouldn't be able to use my storm?
It's as per your sword.
I think it's one a day.
If it says one a day, it's usually based off of like dawn and dusk cycles.
Yeah, magic items, but I didn't specify.
Oh no, and Kill Lightning Storm doesn't. It's control weather. That is one a day.
Okay. But that one would be once per 24-hour period, but the reset wouldn't be sunrise like a normal item. It would be after spending 8 hours in complete darkness, which apparently the room you're spending 8 hours in is.
Complete darkness.
There we go.
So that would do it. It would count for recharging it.
Yeah, cool.
But I'd show everyone else their rooms if they were interested. Dion, your room is very reminiscent of like a military general's quarters. Very clean, very crisp corners and architecture, all done in reds and golds. Again, lower end of extravagance, but very precise and very comfortable at the same time. With all the materials you need to shine your armor if you wish. Stuff like that. Gildred, yours is, you go into the garden off to the side. There's actually a wooded area, like dense woods, but I show you in, and there is a small clearing that has, it's a shape of a bed, but it's just gold coins and jewels and gems. And off to the side of it, there is a cart with, you can immediately smell it from far away, with just piles and piles of bacon. And you notice that
Bacon.
when you go to eat it, it refills itself.
And there's a Jico in your room already.
That's not bacon.
You see a children in the cart. Just I made you one too.
Oh, okay.
Bottomless bacon cart.
Which I show you to your room. And unlike the others, you also have a sitting room for yours. The sitting room is, all the walls are painted to look like cherry blossom trees, but they're magically enhanced to look 3D, and every now and then the cherry blossom petals will fall, like animated wallpaper basically. But then your bedroom, it shifts into a more fire motif to encompass both sides of your life there.
Oh. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. I like it here. I like the cherry blossoms, but I like the fire.
I figured. That's why I made it in a separate room. You can choose what mood you're in.
Nice.
And eventually we brought out to our room, which is indoor. Which is indoors, but again, there are two rooms. There is our bedroom, which is the most extravagant in the entire mansion, because it's mine and I can do that. Fine silks and drapery everywhere, but attached to it is a basically hot springs bathroom situation. Which is all done up with pieces of nature and plants and trees and whatnot, so we can both be comfortable.
She likes it quite a bit. Immediately plops onto the silk laden pillows and cushions, starts to roll around. Very cat-like.
So hey, remember, I need to talk to you.
Okay.
First of all, I want to hurt you. You can't just say you're busy when your life's in danger.
But I thought that did constitute busy.
It does, but see, you're busy a lot, and I've just learned to accept that. But being busy and your life being in danger and you running for your life are two very different things.
Well, in this instance, I didn't have a whole lot of time to react.
I understand that. I didn't like feeling helpless.
Trust me, that's how I felt in the moment too. Jico's tiny little friend is incredibly quick and very dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. I just, I don't know. I messaged you. You could have just said you were in trouble. I could have helped. And not gone off and spent every ounce of energy I had to the point I had to burn myself to get us to safety.
You're right.
I understand you keep your secrets, and I'm not trying to delve into them. I don't mind those. But your life being in danger is not a secret you can keep.
Well, where I'm coming from, advertising that your life's in danger invites more danger.
It also invites help. You're not on your own anymore. You have friends, you have me that are powerful and can help and want to help.
Yeah, I can see the truth in that. And trust me, I do appreciate it. And you have to understand it'll take some time for me to get used to that.
So I understand.
Centuries, literally running for your life every day, knowing, understanding without question that everyone you see wants to kill you and take something from you. Life up here is something altogether different entirely. It's warm and fuzzy and fun, and there's pie, and I don't ever want to leave it.
Well, so speaking of that, I do have some not so great news to share that I think is important that you know.
What would that be?
And you might already know this, I don't know. We're pretty sure your mother's still alive.
Oh, well, I knew that.
Okay, well, it's news to us.
Yeah. You just kind of tell.
So is she the only one that survived? Is there anyone else?
They probably all survived, knowing them. And if my mother survived them, she's more than capable of bringing back the ones that she still has use for.
Do you think that's something we need to worry about? Her coming after you, us?
Me, maybe. You guys, probably, but I don't know, she might run into something more interesting. She never explained why she was interested in all of you in the first place.
I imagine it has something to do with Dion.
It definitely had something to do with him. And whatever it was, it angered our God.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she has an amulet that she wears. It's a ruby carved to look like a dragon's head. She never struck you as religious, but she touches it when she mentions their God.
Does she have ways to track you or us for that matter, I guess?
I can assume so. Again, it's a matter of interest.
I'm gotten a little paranoid lately. I'm assuming that I just assume everyone's after us.
Well, from what I've seen, a lot of them probably are.
Yeah.
You tend to draw lasting attention, your friends and you.
Yeah, we're not really subtle, are
No,
we?
no, about as subtle as a hammer to the face.
Sometimes we catch the right attention.
And keeping it seems to be the challenge for you guys.
Yeah, I think we don't struggle with keeping the attention. It's keeping the attention good.
Yes, yes. That's actually what I meant. Involved to Colleen specifically. I mean, practically the key to the city handed to you. Some people's eyes quite literally that.
Yeah.
And then in a blink of an eye, you turn your back for a moment and now you're wanted, incarcerated.
Yeah. Those. I spent 4 hours in that prison cell, and I never again.
It occurs to me that this friend of yours, Delta, and she is clearly sarcastic when she says friend. He's dangerous in several ways at this point.
Yeah.
He calculated what he did.
He's smart as fuck.
Yeah, but he knew he could get away with causing an immense amount of damage, killing hundreds of people, doing it publicly. I mean, people saw him.
Yeah, and somehow the blame entirely fell on me.
Well, you were wanted as accomplice, not as perpetrator.
Right.
They know he did it, but there's no warrant for him. If my understanding of surface politics is anything close to accurate, that can only mean that he has diplomatic immunity of some sort. It means he's above prosecution.
And that's not good.
That's horrible. That would suggest he has the authority of the crown and can literally do as he pleases.
Great, because he wasn't powerful enough beforehand. Now he can,
Well, didn't you say he came from noble family?
as far as we know, yeah.
I wonder what their standing is. Perhaps he's managed to escalate their standing. Or he's taken advantage of that some kind of way.
Well, you know, our crazy idea right now is to find our way to the capital. That's sounding more and more crazy.
A lot of my being busy was trying to learn how to be a surface dweller. Nothing that I know is any use up here, and I found myself to be quite a blithering idiot when it comes to the simplest of tasks up here. So I've been trying to learn how to correctly people amongst those that live under the stars.
I don't think any of us know how to correctly people.
You okay, buddy? Yikes. I just bounced off my chair. Kept cruising.
You know, I don't think any of us know how to correctly people.
Well, I've learned quite a bit. Obviously, I still have a lot to learn, but I feel like I'm a little useful now.
You've always been useful. I know you're more powerful than we've seen.
I have a few more tricks up my sleeve that you haven't seen. And she casts prestidigitation or changes her outfit to something more along the lines of a nap, we'll say. Because we both know there's not much you haven't seen. And she sprawls out on the bed and says, I'm done talking for now. Let's get some rest. Okay, so we're taking an 8-hour long rest. Are there any other specifics that anybody wants to dictate throughout that? Like changing of spells or anything like that? Right.
All my spells are armed.
I know you're gonna eat about 600 pounds of bacon, right?
I only need a short dress.
Hi. I thought the group decision was a long rest.
I do. I'd like to stay here for a long rest, but I only need a short rest.
Okay, what are you gonna do with the other 6 hours?
Um,
Just made myself a turkey, roast beef, and ham sandwich. And she just took it. Spicy mustard.
No, that's funny.
Quick mechanics question before I do this. If I were to change out a spell I was using, would it drop?
I'm talking about the mansion itself.
Yeah.
I see your pickle. I would say no.
Okay.
It's not concentration.
No, it's not.
So then no. Any concentration based spell, definitely.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But in this instance, no, it lasts 24 hours. It'll be here.
Okay.
I would imagine it would last past you dying for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, while everybody is sleeping, I'm gonna see if I can talk to Bessie.
See if you could talk to who?
None of your business.
Eon's not asleep.
Yes, loud and clear, clearer than it used to be.
Okay, I got a few questions.
What's up?
How do we, like, me and you, how do we go about fighting stone?
Well,
Can we melt it?
probably,
Okay.
but it's stone. Why would we melt it? Have you angered the rocks?
Don't you know who we have to fight? Isn't that
Oh, you're there. Having fun yet?
yeah.
You're lying. Place just got awful, but it serves its purpose.
So, I don't know, something's different about me.
Well, how so?
I don't know. I don't have words for it.
Well, I mean, you can breathe, right? You're not suffocating.
Yeah, we've got amulets for that.
Okay, no. If everything's going according to plan, I don't see why it would be feeling funny. I mean, collected the pieces and put them together, and
Okay,
right, we're good.
are we?
I thought so.
I think so.
Is it Kaio or Raya?
Yeah.
It appears everything is going okay. Rio's reported nothing strange. You got something you want to tell me?
You sit down.
And so, all right, then I'll take that as a no.
Yeah, I mean, everything's cool. As far as I know, I'm just, I don't know, this is weird. It's weird.
It drives most people mad.
Good thing we're not most people.
Well, the trick is to stop looking and just stay sane. Excuse me.
Sit down, please. All right, you can go downstairs. Those are your options. Sit down or go downstairs. This is probably the most awkward conversation we've ever had.
Oh, you're still there. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, okay.
So what gives? You good?
Good.
Hmm,
My friends don't trust you.
that's not new.
Yeah. I don't understand why.
I don't either. I don't understand why I feel like you don't trust me anymore either.
But I do trust you.
Okay then. Well, chop chop. The rest gets everyone eventually.
Don't arrest me. I've got 6 hours. I know. I'm telling him arresting.
Oh, nap time. Are we looking for some happy dream time?
Nah, I'll save my energy for fighting in real life. So.
A few little highlight flashes, little epic clips. This is your, are you sure?
No, I got other stuff I've got to do.
Roger that. Me too.
All right, well, get this shit done.
You actually getting a good night's sleep, Dion?
I am resting.
A very comfy bed.
In a very comfy bed. I didn't hear any of that conversation because I'm asleep.
It was also in our head. You wouldn't have heard any of it.
Mhm.
I'm psychic.
Okay. Everybody's taking a long rest. Do you want to just try to go to sleep, or do you have something you want to do? All right. Do we need to take a short break? I could use a cup of coffee. Do you need a couple of minutes to get your head together? Okay. You guys cool? We take a 5 to 10 minute break. I'm gonna grab
That's
it.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hang in there, man. Hang in there.
Okay, now we're recording again. You said that you wanted to do some exploring and running around with your raptor pack. And you're going to bring them out here, or are you going to your pocket dimension with them?
I'm gonna go to my pocket dimension.
Okay. And time passes the same, so you know about how much time you have before the others will be getting up, roughly. You just want to spend the entire long rest running around with them, having a good time. Okay, fine. They love you for it. They have missed you because you've been pretty busy lately. If they can have their way, they run around with you all the time. But there's a lot of reasons why that can't happen in most situations. Outside the pocket dimension, they wouldn't be able to breathe. Not here anyway. In the mansion, I imagine that
Yeah.
But-
No way.
the plane where you're at, there's no oxygen. That would be bad. All right. I believe everything else has been established. You got your spells picked?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
I need a little bit of info on what you're doing in there. If you're spending a whole lot of time, then things may need to change on your sheets.
Yeah, I am. How long did I spend in there before? Because I'm around there. I
We
don't.
spent 2 years there before.
Okay, I spent 2 years in there before. I'm gonna spend another 2 years in there.
Okay. That wouldn't age you much.
It'd be 4 years more, so I'd be 20 total.
No, that's not your effective age.
Oh,
That's not how that works. Your true actual years. And you age very similarly to an elf. So 4
You're right.
years to you is a drop in the bucket.
that's true. You're right. I'm so sorry.
So no worries there. It's not like when in the other games, when we age like humans.
Mhm.
But as far as that, spending 2 years in there, are you training anything in particular or trying to accomplish anything in that 2 years?
Yes. I want to get good with my mechanical hands. Like, I really want to like, I want to try tricks with it.
I just use it
Yeah,
for everything.
yes.
Okay. In that amount of time, definitely you can get to where you have a symbiosis with it. Like you don't feel like it's attached to you. You feel like it's your hand
Okay,
at
cool.
this point. And that also gives the star metal implements in it time to attune to you. So that it does, like, there's never any issues with it. It doesn't ever get hung up. It's actually integrated with your nervous system. So you can feel with it now too.
All right, other than that, there's nothing like really game changing.
Well, that would be a big deal for your character.
My character is gonna deal with a lot of stuff that has to deal with patience, to try to get some patience. And the last time I was in my pocket dimension, I built a track. I'm gonna do some more test runs at max speed with the new force field.
Okay. What rank is your speed? You've never run full speed since you went past rank 1.
It is attributes and defects.
Excuse me.
Rank 3, I run at 1,000 miles per hour.
Okay. In here, you can test that out. You end up having to make changes to your track, like sharper embankments, like a NASCAR track. Just going that fast, you can't cut a turn
Okay.
laterally. You have to have something to run across. There's just too much momentum. You like run straight off the track every time.
Okay.
And the amount of time that you're there, though, you're able to construct it and run around it. But going that fast has a lot of other inherent dangers. You, like we discussed in previous sessions, the sonic boom that you release
Yeah.
is potentially dangerous. Causes a lot of structural damage, mostly to brittle materials, thicker wood. Like, it doesn't shatter trees, but it blows the leaves out of trees and can shatter glass. Blow doors off of hinges if they're weak.
Okay, but this is in the pocket dimension. There's no
Right,
trees or glass or.
right. But you could like have trees out there to demonstrate different effects or to practice stuff like that.
Okay,
Like, if you learn how to control it,
yeah,
you get a good idea of how damaging the effects of it can be.
okay, okay.
But with that said, we don't have to worry about you not understanding how fast you really are. That would come with a bit of an issue for you on a personal level.
Hmm,
100 miles an hour is going to seem really, really, really slow now.
I am practicing on my patience.
You know, you play a racing game and you get all the way to the end and then you start over and go back to that beginner car and it feels like you're literally crawling around. I have that effect going on. Now that you know how fast you really can go, you feel like anything else is just horribly, horribly slow. And you are able to balance that out with your attempts to gain some patience. Being in there by yourself, it's hard to gauge how patient you've actually become, but you feel like you made some progress.
4 years total of patience with no one else around.
You can be patient with yourself though.
Yeah,
That's
so
just-
like making Zen gardens and shit like that and
okay,
being a monk, sort of.
sort of.
Yeah,
Well, there's a samurai. There's a very powerful spiritual aspect to that too.
you're right, you're right.
All right. Any other tidbits that we want to address, peoples?
I'm good.
Okay. With that said, 8 hours goes by. We'll say that the group of you have collectively gotten together into like a dining area, which is very typical. You guys almost always come together for breakfast.
Yes.
Well, these guys especially.
Which surprisingly, Aurora does provide full meal, including meat. This is magically manifested. It didn't actually come from the angle, so. Go for it. Just tastes exactly like it.
I'm gonna sniff it.
Exactly what you expect. It's just magically created.
I'm gonna lick it.
You're a crazy person, you know that?
Yeah. And then I'll eat it.
So what's our plan? Are we staying in here longer? Or are we going back out?
Do you wanna take a day or do we wanna?
I think as much as a free day would be nice. I think we're kidding ourselves if we think we are allowed that free day.
Agreed. We're not sure what's to come exactly. And I think we need to get a jump on it. It's important that we keep our head on our shoulders and not get too relaxed.
And I think I only shared this with Chico, but I spoke to Raz and my clone, they're torturing her, trying to get her to break, trying to get her to accept Montefiore. And Raz is pretty sure that if she accepted Montefiore, Delta and her would be undefeatable. So we're on a bit of a time crunch. The sooner we get there, the sooner we get her out, the better off we're gonna be.
One thing at a time.
Persona says, do we know how time passes here?
No, not at all. And it's absolutely terrifying. It could be slower. We could, for all I know the Feywild is crazy. You can go back in time from the Feywild. But here it could be the same time, it could be past, it could be far into the future. There's no telling.
We could stand still. We
It could.
shouldn't.
We don't know.
We shouldn't bother ourselves with the unknown. We should focus on what we know. And at the moment, we have a task.
And the moment we gotta get out of here.
And it's our way out of here.
It's our only way out of here.
At least that we found so far. Everyone good to continue on?
Yeah.
Persona says, I'm ready. What does that mean exactly?
Makiko. Wait. Does anyone check for Makiko? I'm gonna go check for Makiko.
Where was she in?
I put her in her room.
Pocket.
Would have dreamt up for her.
Okay, when you walk in there, she is still asleep.
Oh, God.
She took a very long pull. She's moving around a little bit.
I'm going to.
You can smell that she's sweating it out a bit.
Dion,
Yes.
Mirror.
What can I do for you?
Do you have access to restorative magic?
I do.
Can you try it on her? See if it'll remove the poison or alcohol from her system?
All right. I'll see what I can do. And I'll cast Lesser Restoration on her.
Potent for some
Which
booze.
lesser restoration should remove poison?
It's not poison.
Alcohol.
But it isn't not poison either. So
Yeah, Talia would just like look
Okay,
at
you
Aurora
touch
like,
cancer
it's not poison.
and can end either one disease or one condition affecting it. She was unconscious.
Yeah,
Oh, hold on. What,
this would be a new condition, tanked. But yeah, lesser restoration should be powerful enough.
let's see.
It is noteworthy though that she had not slept since you guys met her.
Another concern.
She stayed up all night catching up with Chico and all that. The magic, you can tell, her skin gains a normal color. That definitely helps. And she stops stirring quite as much and her breathing levels out, but she doesn't wake right up.
I'm gonna go just gently shake her. Oh, wait, I try to.
She
I'm gonna get stabbed, but I'm gonna try it anyway.
she very like just dreamily blinks her eyes slowly and focuses on you.
Morning, sunshine.
She looks around. Where am I?
A magical mansion I made.
Moves a little bit and then burrows into the mattress a little bit and stretches. Oh, I like this place.
I can make it again later, but for now, we kind of have to go. We've been sleeping for 8 hours. Do you remember what happened before you went to sleep?
I don't remember going to sleep.
Okay. We're not gonna worry about that right now. We're gonna go fight that construct dude. Up for it?
Hopefully.
Okay.
8 hours, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit.
I haven't slept that long in a decade.
Feel better?
I think so. I think my legs are still asleep.
Oh.
She gets up and follows the smell of coffee, wherever the nearest source of that is. With everybody else getting a breakfast meal, and she joins you all at the table. So
I'll casually be at the table, just smiling, eating some bacon and eggs. Just looking at Mikiko smiling.
she takes note of the smile and like initially nods back at you and then pauses for just a second, looks over at you again, doesn't say anything.
Yeah, on the second look, there's an even bigger smile when I like see that realization on her.
Natural 2. She doesn't seem to really remember, but she did do a double take. It seems to consider something, but she doesn't say anything to you.
Yeah, okay.
Gets a pretty healthy portion of food for someone her size and sits down, starts quietly eating.
So if everyone is amenable to it, when we leave, I want to try something new on all of us. Since we all suspect we're going into a fight, talking during combat to tell the enemy your plans is usually a bad idea. So I'm pretty sure I can create a telepathic link between all of us. It only lasts for a limited amount of time, but it will grant others the ability to speak into your mind at will. Won't be able to read memories or detect any thoughts, but we'll have access to talk to each other through that link. Figure that might be helpful.
To be honest, I'm familiar with magic like this. Pretty common where I'm from.
So as long as everyone's okay with me touching their minds a little bit.
Mikiko hesitates, but then nods. She doesn't speak, she stuffs food in her face.
I'm
Sorry,
I'm a bit hesitant as well, but
Like I said, it doesn't, we can't invade your
No.
thoughts or memories. Just we can talk.
yeah. As long as it's just talking.
And the best thing is it'll allow us to talk even if we get separated for any reason. As long as we stay in the same plane, we'll be able to talk to each other. So when everyone's done eating, as we leave, I will cast both that and share the love spin right away, like.
My dice don't like me tonight.
Excellent.
Like when he rolls things.
I rolled a natural 1. I figured you'd like that at least. a
I mean,
little.
I do like that, but I don't think you're rolling at all.
All right, distribute to share the love. You got notepad ready for temporary stats, Bubba? You got sketching notepads galore now, don't you?
How many of us are?
Party plus 2.
How many of us are party?
5.
Yeah. 35.
Hmm.
Plus 6 for my fifth level spell. 41
Okay.
41 points as we start the morning. It's fine.
Share the love adds what?
It's this, it's going to be adding plus 16 to your score, and so plus 8 to whichever modifier, whichever stat you want.
Is that ranks? Or was-
Yeah, I
it was
added
2
ranks, and the ranks is what it equals out to.
Okay. Well, you don't have stage 3 yet, do you?
No,
Yeah, that's when it gets really nasty.
yeah.
Okay. Do you have 5e tools then? It's really easy to get to on here, right there. And then, so you can look through spells quick. Remember how to sort the druid list out? Ooh, excuse me, goodness. Okay, so you guys are at the door. I assume after the spells are cast, we're just going to step out. The door is inside the hut, but the hut would have expired, right?
Yes, that's expired.
Okay, you step out of the shimmering curtain onto the wasteland, and you see a whole bunch of nothing. But about maybe 2.5 minutes after you guys come out, there's another mild earthquake.
I don't like that.
Do I have access to measure this thing?
Not just yet.
Not yet, next level.
You can do everything else though.
Does the ash happen again after the one?
Yes, it does. In the absence of meditation, you actually see it this time.
That's really not good. Are we worried about a volcano being nearby?
Well, we saw it when we were last on guard. I did say about it, but you were meditating.
Yeah, I wasn't paying.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I have to worry about fighting things and a possible volcano. Joy.
Well, let's make sure we don't burn alive.
That would be great.
That'd be the best.
I would like to not do that.
Just like before, the clouds don't move. Like there's not a breeze blowing them at all. There is some subtle movements within the clouds, but they're not actually moving as a body. Like there's a little bit of movement within them. It looks like they were shaken up a bit by the earthquake,
Yeah.
but that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because the ground shouldn't shake the clouds.
Does it feel like this is kind of like a painting, guys? Like someone's just created a painting and made it reality.
I don't know. I don't like it. It's so devoid of everything.
Life.
Mhm.
I'm picturing like herds of cowardly dogs, like wasteland. Like coloration and everything.
That's a good visual. It's just constantly overcast and just endless flat stone stretching out, maybe
Yeah.
minus
Black
the
and
dead
white.
trees and the tumbleweeds.
Right.
Old Twilight Zone.
Hmm.
What I imagine is like the Minecraft flat world, but just stone.
And similar to that, it almost seems monochrome. There are some tannish hues to the stone, but at a glance, it seems just like endless gray. Very dismal.
What direction is Zen direction sending me to find Duff or off?
Damn it, it's in direction. That way.
Oh, that way. Duff to Wrath. There we go. I was close. Yeah, at this point. That way.
All right. And we're just walking at this point.
Unless Gilda wants to give us a ride. I see a lot of dirt and stone.
Well,
A dirt.
if- If there was a volcano, we had someone to help us get out of danger.
I'm thinking it should be, what it should be.
I was suggesting shaking arrows.
I was. It was,
I'll take some time to summon Steve
Okay.
before we.
We've had this debate before. It's a magical summons for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's possible here then.
You see, he's got a horse. So we just need like a wagon or a carriage or something to follow behind it.
Hey. What rank is your dynamic power?
I think it's at 4.
Well, we know rank 3 super speed's 1,000 miles an hour.
Or a mile.
Rank 2 is 500. That'll be plenty fast
The
enough.
other day, these flowing would be funny.
Oh my God, is that 4 Tootsie Pops?
Yes, it's 4. Like 4.
He's
Some water.
trying to fuse them together in his mystery brew. They said the other day they were turned into one.
All right, downstairs with your weird brew of.
A little
Sucker
mad
juices.
scientist with a cup full of sugar.
Oh my God, your power Earth is like 6.
Holy crap, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's something.
We don't need to go out of
What you got in mind, Bubba?
I want to fly that.
Okay. Okay, well, we've got 10 minutes while Dion is summoning his steed.
Actually, is it okay to have some pencils for monsters or
Well,
something?
if I know this, I'm gonna see. I will wait until he's seated up to do anything. My stuff is expensive.
Can I make sure that I have a full clip of shredder rounds in my gun?
Right, in the shaker basket.
Yeah.
Can do. What do shredder rounds do, if I can?
They fire a 15 feet cone of shrapnel. Any creatures in the cone will have to make a dex saving throw to take no damage and lose no AC. On fail, the creature takes half damage and loses 1 AC. Can only lose a total of 5 AC.
Well, we're not gonna worry about the total of 5 AC.
Hmm.
Okay. How about lose 1 AC per 5 points of damage?
Yeah, can do.
It needs to scale up for us, or it becomes kind of moot. 1 point of AC is not really worth paying attention to.
Yeah, I assume that as well. That's why I thought I'd like that was the one I was talking about, the ammo understanding.
Right on, right on. Yeah,
Yeah.
tweak that as such, and like we said before, we'll use your saving throw DC from your magic. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming this is it's intellect based. Or sounds like it.
Mm,
Is your magic intelligence based or wisdom based?
well, for one of them is the splinter. It's mainly saying about dexterity.
Okay. Right, it would be, yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Apply for the saving throws because you're shooting people, so that makes sense. All right. Full shaker of shredder rounds, summoning horse. But you standing on your sword, practicing your patience.
Yeah, waiting patiently.
I'm keeping watch for those 10 minutes.
For a moment of that 10 minutes, you actually get captivated watching a Jiko standing still. Like, you know her well enough to see that she is exercising an effort to control her breathing, but it's actually happening. You would have noticed, Dion, when she came back, remember how her presence or her energy changed recently? The light of that inner fire got a little brighter when she took her sabbatical. And like when you guys came back from your nap,
Yeah.
the power within her that you're so crazy about seems to have gotten a bit stronger, like a lot stronger.
Oh, what do you mean? A demonic force?
Yes. She absorbed the power after you got done in the swamp.
Oh, yeah.
That changed her aura, and you were able to feel tangibly when she became a demon. Like she was always tainted by demonic energy, but she became a demon when she absorbed that. That energy in itself, that full-on corruption, has become more potent and substantially brighter in the 8 hours that you spent eating, cleaning your armor, and relaxing. You don't know what she did, but in Dragon Ball Z terms, her power level increased a whole fuck ton.
In a short amount of time.
I found something, but it's not what I want to. It's not what I want to say.
They don't want to see that. Spare the ladies. It's spider related. You're welcome.
Uh-oh. Low battery percent. Better find this thing quick.
Run to get your charger.
Go, go, go.
Go get the charger. Before it's done.
While I'm keeping watch, I'm gonna pull my goggles of true sight on and flip them over and keep watch that way. I'm just curious to see if anything is illusionary.
Roll a perception check.
First. Well, it was a 19 on the die. So that's a big number. What's that?
Okay. With this telepathic bond, can you transmit visual images?
It says you can communicate telepathically.
Okay, so that's up to me then.
Yes.
Well, because it'll save me a little trouble later. You see that several of the stones are in the shape of a stone, but you see the outlines of other forms. Some of them look like serpents with lava in between what would or like worms. Like maybe there's lava in between the cracks of their scales. You know, worms have the segments in their bodies.
Oh
Others
no.
look like what you would expect a rock to look like if it animated. Angular pieces of stone that seem to be held together by other supernatural forces, a lot like an earth elemental, but where the feet make contact, they seem to be extremely hot, and their head looks like a volcano. And there are a sigil engraved in the face for those. And then one that really, really troubles you. Plug it up. Goofball. The shape of it isn't that startling. It kind of looks like a big stone lion, but the operative term here is big. Extremely, extremely big.
Oh shit.
Hey guys.
That's way off.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Like you do you need to go that way.
We're not alone out here. Do you remember how we were talking about this place is devoid of life?
With your true sight, now that you're aware of them as entities, you can tell that they're not sitting still. They're moving real slow.
Okay. Toward us?
Different directions.
Okay. So those rocks out there,
It's over here, buddy.
those aren't rocks.
Some of them are.
Okay, some of them are, but
Most of them are not.
so we should definitely avoid those at all costs. They're moving slow though. Hopefully it stays that way.
Are they going in the same direction we're going?
They're going all the directions. There's that big wind power, the one that looks like a mountain. That one's right in our path.
It's far enough away that it's a speck. It's really, really small. But with
Yeah.
your senses using true sight, you can make it out, and you're able to gauge the rough size of it based on the fact that you shouldn't be able to see it at all.
Right. So no one touched the rocks, just to be on the safe side. That was mine.
That's what I wanted to say.
So
Or-
we've determined that it's a good idea not to touch the rocks, no matter how tempting it is.
create.
At this
Not
point,
touch.
at this point,
On it?
But this is not touching anything.
because this is Talia's sense of humor, she's gonna look down, realize she's on rock, and try and climb on top of Dion's back.
Go to Chronicles, and Chronicles is in.
Oh,
That's where you
be
are.
on your piggybacking now.
Scroll down.
Yep.
Did I drop those in the wrong chat?
I just sigh and then
Right click.
shake her off my back.
I hold on.
What?
You go down here and right click.
I ain't getting off.
Enough.
I ain't getting off your back.
Ooh. Now, more immediately, what everybody sees is a creature like this. How big?
Um,
Fitting for all of us right now.
Anything huge or larger would allow the entire party to ride on. But with rank 6 dynamic power, you could have something as big as that huge lion thing if you really wanted to.
this thing.
It would be the full extent of your dynamic power Earth. You would have to concentrate on it. But yeah, you could summon something that big if you really, really wanted to. Things
It
are
makes it more noticeable,
for sure.
but
It would be made out of stone.
Well, Mr. Gildred, just be careful.
How big do you want to make it?
We may not want to draw a lot of attention to ourselves.
Like, how big is a golem?
They vary in size.
I want it to be not as big as this creature, but as big as like an ancient dragon. An ancient.
Okay, they'll be about size class huge. About elephant sized. But not the same shape as an elephant, very large and long. And if you're creating it out of stone, you can actually have seats built into it. Like you can have benches in its back.
And I want to give it a little statue.
Mhm. Okay. With it being that small, you could do other things with it, like let it run super fast, stuff like that. So you could actually have everybody sit in it comfortably and it still run 500 miles an hour or 100 miles an hour. The faster you go, the harder it is to control. Keep that in mind. But you could cruise around at mommy's usual cruising speed.
Like 100.
And that would be slow enough that you guys can actually look around and see what's coming at you, but probably fast enough that nothing could actually keep up with you.
Mhm.
Nothing we've seen yet. At least.
Right.
If I can want to do customizations.
Right. It's your power. I'm just giving you recommendations. I'm not telling you what to do.
So I'm gonna make it as big as the ancient dragon.
Mhm. And the other things you can change on the fly. That's the beauty of dynamic power. You don't have to commit to it doing one thing all the time like a special attack. That's also why it does less damage than a special attack. But the dynamic versatility makes it worth it to me. You've seen how I abuse it. Okay, but with it being as large as you said, it's roughly the size of a dragon. It's pretty good proportion for it. As it rises up out of the stone, you guys notice it leaves a crater that, as more stone pulls up to form the dragon, actually opens up into what is clearly a flowing body of molten something. Very familiar smell from the battlefield. It smells like molten metal.
So it's not regular lava.
It does not smell like it, no.
Okay. Let's avoid that at all costs.
At this point, where the rock is depleted, it looks like there's about 2 feet of stone.
Okay, so remember that. Anything further than 2 feet, you're opening up the pits of hell. In hell, that's never mind.
Unlike the clouds and everything else, this fluid is moving very fast.
Okay.
One thing I want to customize to the creature I made is I want to give it like wings.
You can do that. You want to fly instead of just run around?
I mean, it could do both. I could have the leg stretchers and have some wings.
Absolutely could. Yeah. It doesn't take a high perception check to notice it. The boulder off on the horizon, roughly, we'll say a quarter mile away, like I told Dion, that's about 30 feet tall, roughly. You recognize it as one of those worms with your true sight. It actively raises up and uproots itself and starts rolling towards you.
It's time to go. Time to go. Everyone on this raft thing.
I'm gonna jump on its head and make it fly.
And I will hop on too and dismiss
Yeah.
them out.
I'm still on Dion's back, so I'll just be holding on to
Oh, that's right. I hopped on with Talia on my back.
it. He tried to shake me off. I held on.
This doesn't count as a creature, right?
What?
This thing that we're riding on.
It's debatable.
Yeah.
Currently, it's more of a construct-ish
Right.
animated object. So I guess it temporarily becomes a construct, which is arguably a creature.
She didn't know if I can make it invisible. The spell specifically states a creature you touch.
While it's being animated all out.
As soon as we're up off the ground, I'm gonna cast invisibility on it.
Okay. You're gonna allow the spell?
So will it,
It makes all of us invisible because we're.
I was just about to say, if we be like Wonder Woman in the invisible plane, just like flying it, like sitting down, flying in the air.
As entertaining as that would be, the spell does cover you guys. You're considered its gear, sort of. Hey, you guys disappear from sight. The stone, as it tumbles towards you, to you, it's still just a stone. You're just aware that it's not actually a stone. It's got another form, but it just rolls over and fills in the hole and slowly sinks. You see a little bit of the molten material splash up around the edges, and when it cools, it's definitely metallic. It becomes black on the outside. It's difficult to tell what type of metal it is. Anybody actually a smith in the party?
Just with star metal.
Right. Did you take any blacksmithing tool experience there?
I
Yeah.
don't think I did.
I think.
No.
No, I
Apart from
think-
my ammo, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. You make clothes. For argument's sake, it looks like some pretty nasty impure iron.
I imagine I've been around to quite a few
Yeah,
forges.
for sure. It's definitely not high quality metal. You can see impurities in it as it cools. It's just pretty obvious.
Oh, I feel like I made a mistake.
So this thing filled in the space or it just stayed there?
It rolled over into the hole and settled in
Okay.
like a plug,
Interesting.
filling a drain, kind of what it looks like.
I'll just tell Gilder this way to go.
You guys start flying. You fly for a very, very long time. The goggles are a constant effect. Are you keeping them on?
Yes.
Okay. Numerous creatures of the three types that I showed you, along with small magma and stone methods, but those are very, very rare. You see them scattered around here and there. In one instance, there's a group of them leading one of the worms that's not a rock. You guys actually all actively see one of those worms being pulled by like a whole bunch of small little stone and lava imps. They have it tethered with some sort of blackish chain and are just dragging it across the wasteland. You're not sure where they're going, what their motivation for it is. The worm itself is about 40 feet long, but it's not very thick. The head of it is only about 4 or 5 feet across. It's just really, really long. But it does scorch the land and leave behind a trail of molten iron as it slithers across the landscape. Did you guys want to attempt to engage it? As you're invisible, one of the imps looks up in your general direction, but its gaze passes right over you guys. It doesn't actually see you.
No, I think we have places to be. Yeah, this is already taking this long. I'm worried how much longer it might take.
How long does your invisibility spell last?
An hour.
An hour?
I'll recast it if we're still going.
Okay. You cast it 3 times, and it's still the same endless landscape. The only excitement you saw was the worm being corralled by a few methods. But everyone roll intelligence checks. Nice.
What?
Not bad.
36.
47.
31
16.
or yeah, 31.
Okay. It takes a second, but you said a 47. Is that right, Talia?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody topping that? Didn't think so. You're not 100% sure until the third time. You go past the boulder that filled in the hole with the molten metal around the base 3 separate times.
Oh, it's the fucking jungle again.
There's been no indication that you're going in circles, but you keep passing the same spot. You know for a fact you went by the third time.
guys, I think we're going around in a circle.
That stupid illusionary jungle again. Okay.
Versana casts a short spell. You're not sure what the spell is. It's definitely divination related. It says, I don't detect any illusions. Whatever is happening here is physical.
Okay. So, new plan.
I mean, the place couldn't be so small that we've walked across all of it 3 times, could it?
Mm-hmm.
Very well said.
We were flying pretty fast, but
So it's something about this world that's hiding itself in a way.
It's a possibility that we're not meant to fly. We may have to trek it on the ground.
Yeah. Very possible. Yes, take us down. Let's see. If we're on the ground, it's a little train.
I'll make it land on the ground and still run 100 miles per hour.
it's a variable effect you can do. You can use dynamic power to imitate other powers and spells. Right? There's a limit to how much you can do at once. The total number of abilities that you can manifest at once is double your rank. So that'll be 12 total ranks or spell levels distributed amongst different powers that you can have on the thing. But you have to, no single power can have an effect that's stronger than your dynamic power rank. You can only have like 1 rank 6 type of power. And that would be the monstrous stone golem. So that gives you effectively 6 ranks of other smaller abilities that you can tie to it. You got it?
I don't want to change the creature because I'm having so many cool things.
I mean, it's with dynamic power, you can.
I mean, look at that. And that.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff.
I mean, the one I'm really looking at.
Okay, so we're landing the dragon on the ground. Are you going to continue walking in the dragon, or let everybody continue on foot?
I'll ask them if they want to.
We could try and the dragon for now. I don't really want
Yeah,
to
just
ground.
in case.
See what happens. Go for another hour and see if we would pass the same boulder again.
Okay, there are boulders all over the place. And you said you're actively trying to avoid them?
Yes.
Okay, on the ground, that would involve quite a bit of zigzagging. It'll be difficult to go in a straight line, but they're scattered far enough apart that you don't have to deviate too much. But as you are progressing, you do come pretty close to one of the ones that looks kind of like a humanoid. And as you guys are walking and you go to cut your turn, staying about 100 yards away from it, it turns a little bit and then starts to roll towards you guys like the bigger one did that was a worm. You guys don't pay a whole lot of attention to it. It's pretty far away. It's moving super slow. And the last one didn't care about you, so you just keep walking. You do notice after about 5 minutes more walking that it's following you.
Is it gaining on us at all though?
Not really. It's not falling behind either.
Okay, it's just keeping pace with us.
Yes, and you do not say that you were running at 100 miles an hour, so we were walking. Am I correct in understanding this, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
Maybe pick up the speed just a tiny bit. It's keeping pace. I don't want to risk skating. Not enough to trick. This land doesn't want to be tricked. Just tiny bit faster.
Versana, who is sitting next to you, is looking off the other direction. She kind of nudges you with her elbow and points. And you see off on the horizon, there's another stone rolling towards you guys. This one is one of the worms. It's significantly further away though.
Is it moving faster?
Difficult to say, but it does seem to be closing ground pretty quick. But it's not behind you guys. It's actually ahead and off to the side. So as you continue to go the path you're going, you'll be moving towards it as well.
We might have to fight. I don't know. Hoping to avoid doing that until we got to where we need to be.
And save your good stuff until you need it.
Yeah.
Makiko says, where the hell do we need to be? We've walked across this whole place more than once.
I don't know.
There's nothing here.
We're
There's
missing
something here. There's something hiding.
right underground.
Yeah, that's the place I'm not going. Makiko says that out loud.
Yeah, no, I don't want to go there either.
Underground is clearly hot molten death. I don't think we want any part of that.
We stayed under the clouds, right?
Yeah.
Just double check. Can you take us up real quick? Above the clouds?
Okay. And I'll make this thing blast up above the clouds.
Okay. Fortunately for you, it doesn't have to breathe. We are all still mounted on it, correct? Nobody got down?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I am still mounted on Dion.
Oh, that's not going anywhere.
Oh, Lord.
He's supposed to be fighting Monothak, and now you got a shade mounted on you. For shame, Pally. Well, I thought it was funny. Fuck you guys.
I laughed.
Anywho,
She's already not paying attention.
the stone dragon leaps into the air. When you fly into the clouds, you feel it physically. A little bit of it gets temporarily swirled into your fresh air sheath, but it's not a vapor cloud. It is a dust cloud that is hovering in the air. It is stone dust. You're not sure what the source of it is. You continue flying upwards for at least 15 minutes. It's incredibly thick, but eventually you do break through the layer of clouds. And what you are greeted by here is quite the opposite. Instead of being boring and drab, it's incredibly dynamic. If this were a planet, its atmosphere would be fire. The sky itself seems to be on fire. Orange and yellowish flames dance across the sky, seeming to be the source of light unanimously. It's not like right there where you can touch it. It's really far away, and you would have to continue flying up to get to it, like you would have to get to like the stratosphere on Earth. But it is on fire. There are no stars to see. There's nothing open and inviting. It's just a sea of flames. And in this instance, it looks like the ground is the solid layer of ash, and the entire sky is on fire.
Anything on the horizon? Any
Roll.
shapes or anything?
Perception checks, everyone. This one is very difficult to spot.
That's another 19. The other one's 5.
Very nice.
No, that's a one.
Not 20, that's 102.
47.
Nice.
I automatically see it.
There you go. Somebody remembered. I'm damned. Okay.
Fire never paid attention.
Initially, I was thinking one person would notice it, but most of you, your gaze settles on a small point in the horizon, often in a different direction than the loop that you guys have been going in. But it does bother you. Your Zen direction's never been wrong
Yeah, I
before.
don't like it. I don't like it at all.
But it's the only break in the sea of gray. You do see a peak rising up out of it. There seems to be a stream of energy of some sort coming out of the top of it, like almost like, whereas the normal horizon is gray, there's a line of orange and yellow coming from the speck that breaks the clouds going up to the horizon. Either the fire is pouring down into it or it's shooting something up. It's so far away you can't tell, but there seems to be some sort of flow of either fire or lava or something. But that is the only break in the monotony of flaming gray nothing.
That might be what we're looking for. Can't imagine what else it would be. Everyone ready?
Be ready for anything, guys.
Is there anything you can do to protect us from fire before we go into this?
I haven't done it for a while.
Any druidic magic?
That I don't. Something like that, if I could do it.
I mean, down in the probably towards you.
What?
All right, just going for a quick cigarette.
I need to get a cup of coffee. Let's take 10.
There's only protection from energy and protection from poison.
With pausing.
Yeah, let me, now we're back. So we are flying towards the large peak.
No, we were walking or running, weren't we?
No, we flew up in the air, remember?
Oh, among the, yeah, above the clouds.
Yeah, and then we saw something completely different.
Mhm.
Sky flames.
Okay, now the one altered feature, which appears to be a peak breaking through the cloud of ash or stone. You guys head towards that. It does take quite a while. You don't fly at crazy high speeds. But when you do approach, it becomes readily apparent that there seems to be a flow of fire-like substance, or maybe some sort of flaming liquid flowing from the sky, using the term loosely, down on top of a very, very large boulder that seems to be hovering above the opening of a volcano, now which is creating a cascade of this same molten substance that's pouring down from all sides of this extremely large boulder, extremely large being about 100 feet across. And it is not touching the lips of the volcano, which it is a perfectly conical, 100% symmetrical to the point of looking artificial volcanic peak. You can see smoke billowing out and burps and tufts in between the flow of the molten material. Excuse me, but the opening at the top of it is almost the exact same size as the base of the stone itself, and the stone seems to be hovering a few feet above the edge, so that the material flowing around the bottom of it goes into the volcano with very little seepage. The cap of it is covered in what looks to be metal for the most part. There are some bits of rocks just strewn about, but the very tip of the volcano seems to be coated in iron from overspill.
Now that we're here, I'm going to spend my 41 points to make sure everyone has shared well again. And that we talk about the bomb. Ow.
Okay, eventually cast fire shield.
Eventually.
I keep doing that.
You really
Sorry,
want her to be
guys.
here, and I really need her to not be. right now.
That just means she's been on my mind a lot.
Doesn't
Doesn't mean, it means nothing. It's fine.
Why?
Bressana casts fire shield on herself and Makiko.
Let's go keep the NPCs alive.
Does anyone else require protection?
Hello.
She casts it on you as well. It lasts for 10 minutes. That's in 5e tools if you need to look up the specifics.
This is a no.
Was it called Flame Shield?
It's called Fire Shield. It's a 4th level evocation spell. It gives you resistance to fire damage, and whenever anyone hits you, they take fire damage.
Okay.
It's it'll be 2d8 plus her charisma modifier, which I haven't ever decided on.
I mean, imagine it's comparable to mine.
What's yours?
I have max ranks and enhanced charisma on both myself and an item, so my modifier is 80. But I also have a 26 natural score, so.
Not even claiming that this is an accurate number, but we'll call it 75 for right now. 2d8 plus 75 fire damage to anybody touching you for the next 10 minutes.
Okay. Oh crap.
Realistically, it's more than that. I just haven't put her on paper. She's got massive damage.
And did you say anyone touching me?
Yes, you are wreathed in fire.
At this point, I would have got off Dion's shoulders.
You want a flaming suit too, Mr. Paladin?
Yes, please.
She cast it on you as well.
Look, I understand that fire is cool now, but probably you all being encased in fire is a lot. Just saying.
I'm just gonna use protection from energy.
That's what you do. Just speak up when you want to do something.
Good call.
I'll just rub it off. Hopefully. Hopefully that's how this works.
I was really tempted after you said that, Aurora, to stealthily touch you.
And you guys will find out eventually that there is a bit of a downside. It's bound to happen.
I mean, right now I'll take some energy points actually.
We're all gonna die.
Okay. Pause this for 1 second, guys. All right, we are recording again. Airborne heading towards the big boulder-filled volcano. Excuse me.
One question is
It doesn't look like lava. It looks like a more molten iron.
or something that could burn stone or not stone. Yes. Stone.
It doesn't seem to be melting the stone. Not quite that hot. Not quite lava hot, but still extremely hot.
I like it. But I'm starting to be a little fond of this. This looks great.
Okay, but as stated, this is the most movement that you guys have seen for a very long time. There's a very constant flow, and it's not a solid sheet of the molten metal flowing down the stone. It's so here you guys have seen the effect before, water flowing down a sphere, how it runs in different rivulets and it seems to move and shift, and there's always a section of it that's uncovered. That's how you're able to determine that the big ball is made of stone. There are several patches of it where there's still hot metal that starts to cool, but before it has a chance to, the flow of the fluid passes back over it and catches it and ends up exposing the stone again. As stated, there's about an 18 to 24 inch gap between the base of the huge, I guess, gargantuan stone marble, we'll call it, and the lip of the volcano. And there's plenty of gaps where you could potentially slip in there if you're interested in that, but there's a very strong chance of catching a bunch of molten iron on your back.
You risk it? Didn't
Roll perception checks, everyone.
Oh, man.
Plus 82.
Oh, natural 18. I don't know if it helps.
A little bit.
Okay.
94.
It's still not that,
146.
or that.
or that.
Those are crazy numbers.
Those are insane numbers.
Fifty. 50.
47.
Yeah, you guys have drifted closer slowly at a cautious pace since the initial protective spells were cast. Not wasting time, but still being cautious. When you speak to ask if you risk it, all of you notice, even you, the stone starts to turn.
What we're on? What we're on?
The huge stone marble that's hovering above the
Here's the
volcano,
volcano. We're gonna find a volcano, guys.
it starts to turn.
Okay.
You do notice as it turns that there are imperfections in the surface of it. It's not a smooth ball as it looked like. It kind of looks like a bunch of large rocks stuffed together in a spherical shape.
Oh God. So is this what we gotta fight?
We're
Yeah.
fighting the volcano.
There is a fair amount of it that's concealed beneath the surface
It's-
of the lip of
We
the
even knew that. They
volcano.
told us this place is only populated by twisted elemental beings that drip molten iron. Oh. Okay. We're fighting the volcano. Do this one.
How do we go about fighting a volcano?
Challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Brasana says, it stopped moving.
Oh, no, is it looking directly at us?
It still looks like a sphere for the most part, but the area that it's facing you now has a lot of surface imperfections. It almost looks like a huge chunk's been torn out of it. Then it starts to unfurl a little bit.
I guess everyone be ready.
It starts to expand very, very slowly. I assume everyone's trying to look and see what's inside the outer shell, obviously. There's a constant flow of this molten material that fills it up. So it just looks like a big bowl of molten stew. And it's really aggravating how slowly it is expanding. As it's doing this, however, it doesn't raise itself up above the bowl. It actually seems to settle down on top of the volcano, as it were.
Wait, aren't we still visible, or did that wear off?
That wore off quite a while ago.
Yeah.
And as I said, it appears to settle. You notice very clearly when it does, it actually sets down and shakes the ground. You hear it and you can feel the vibrations in the air.
Clouds are shaking.
No, it's stopping. It's unfurling to take a poop in the volcano.
I'm going to very quickly cast locate object, focusing on another piece of weapon.
That is inside the volcano.
Go.
For sure it's down there
Yep.
in the hole that just closed up just now.
Mhm. Mhm. We have a blast away for volcano.
Okay.
Okay, you notice before anyone else would, by your nature, you're just drawn to animals and their shapes. You see as this starts to unfurl what appears to be a feline-like tail uncoiled. All of you see an appendage extend out of it. He's the first to point out that the body language, the way it's moving, looks like a cat's tail that starts to wave back and forth through the air, coated in molten iron and slinging it all over the place. From this elevation, it scatters in hundreds of yard radius all over the place, just huge lumps of it disappearing into the ash.
Like just a lazy cat swish or like an angry cat swish?
Almost a curious contentment, and there's a lot of movement and a bit of a swish, but not a whole lot of anger or anger attitude.
Cause
With your perception, you notice, you still have your goggles on too, correct?
Yes. I have one.
As they enter the ash cloud, they turn into demons.
What does?
The globs of metal flying off this thing's tail.
Okay. Joy.
As you continue to watch, about 5 minutes into this ridiculously slow movement, you see what the huge cat like creature that you saw wandering around, this would be the big one, so to speak. It's much larger than the others. It seems to be laying on its back, and opening its mouth and hungrily drinking the iron that's pouring down from the sky.
Okay.
Like it's pouring down over top of it. And at this point, there is quite a bit of it leaking down around its back and flowing down the side of the stone cap. It doesn't seem to be paying too much attention to you guys, but it almost seems like a playful cat. It bats at a little bit of it, and the splashing that it causes in any instance where it hits the ash cloud, it creates another demon. The
Okay.
smaller ones turn into little methods.
Maybe it's won't be a fight. Maybe it wants to play.
Mikiko leans forward and says, I'm not fucking playing with that thing.
Alright, I'm with you.
I mean,
I don't want any games. No.
well,
Let's kill it. Or let's make an, we're not making them deal with it. Let's kill it.
But that doesn't.
We should think this through.
and that's what we're doing. Victor has an idea.
I think if I can use my dynamic power of Earth, I can make someone big enough to play with.
That might scare it though. It might get territorial. It is a cat.
Or if you
Persona said it
say
doesn't matter,
the
y'all
object is
out of the way,
in the
right?
volcano,
We need to get inside.
Right, inside the volcano or inside the cat?
Wait, are they different?
Well, I mean,
Where's
it's
the
laying
object?
on top of the mountain.
Oh,
You know,
I thought
there
it was
was
another
this-
one of the illusion.
It
where, like,
it
there was
plugged
this huge
it
floating marble that was
plugged
lighting up.
the volcano with its back.
Right.
oh, understood. Okay, yes, I like this idea.
what was the idea? I didn't hear it
We
that
could
well.
create another. I mean, make another cat creature for it to play with, or a mouse. Ooh, a rock mouse that could chase.
Also, while they're distracted, you could do a kind of drain at the bottom of the volcano, drain out the lava to get in there.
I don't think he's gonna be able to do both. Someone else would have to. You, you're not lava? Just enough for us to get through?
I got dynamic fire. Does that? How much?
It's not lava.
No, it's
There,
Persona says it out loud. It's not
metal.
lava, it's iron.
yeah.
yeah, we
All right,
don't.
to
It
drain
could be
the
an
iron.
endless supply coming up through there. We may not be able to drain it.
Oh,
Just a suggestion, because we need to get in there.
You could divert it. Wouldn't that be easier?
I'm gonna say, how do cats and lizards go?
We should figure out how we're gonna get in before we move it. We'll have to go fast just in case it comes right back. We're coming fast.
Yeah. Once it's out of the way, assuming we can get through the river of molten metal, theoretically, we should be able to get inside the mountain,
Right.
but we don't know what's in there.
I think I might have a fast idea.
Something that you can do while concentrating on a earth creature.
I was thinking making other stuff. Maybe. Stone means everybody does.
But it's a good idea. Just, are you magically capable of doing that? Do you concentrate on that much at once?
That would be the real challenge. Everybody's flying on your construct right now. So whatever you do, you'd have to be able to do while you're keeping everyone afloat. And Persona says, actually, I have a very simple solution to that. Cast Tetris floating disc. Guys, as unnerving as this is going to feel, step out onto the nothing with me.
Okay, I trust you.
You can see the energy from it, especially with your goggles, but and there's a bit of an energy outline to it, but she's standing on air. It supports her though. If you look at it, you can very clearly see a ring outline of a disc of magical energy.
I'm gonna spread my wings and go into the air.
You can play too, right?
Yeah, I can do that.
Maybe you send your lizard in to go play with the cat.
Okay.
It's pretty big. Might get his attention. You guys stepping off onto the disc?
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to roll the lizard.
I'm gonna spread my wings and take off. So I'm gonna go and stare at the molten metal.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yes.
Mhm.
What precisely are you going to do?
I'm gonna change the creature we have into, if I can I?
Okay.
Like this. Okay, something that large.
At rank 6, not quite. You can go up to huge class, or maybe the low end of gargantuan, where the size difference is going to be about like that. And whatever you make it look like, by comparison, it's going to be about rat sized. This thing's going to be bigger than what you make, but it'll probably be clumsier and slower. So, but right now it's unaware and it's playing in a stream of molten metal. And unlike the big stone ones that you saw out on the open plain, this one have the lines of molten metal flowing through its skin in certain places, almost like veins or arteries just beneath the stone.
I want to create this. I want to make it look like that, make it as big as I can.
Okay, with those specs, you can get it about 30 feet tall. And again, this cat is massive. Maybe about 150 feet long. It's much larger. Okay. Wings would be an advantage though.
So how do I delete a picture?
How do you what?
How do I delete a picture? Do I start to the edit?
Oh, in Discord, you don't have to. You can just find another picture. It's fine.
Okay. Oh, pictures.
That's too big for your current power level. That's actually on par with the cat you're dealing with. That's much larger. Yeah, it's about the same scale. Looking at the picture, those are really big cats. Okay, the form you had was fine for what you're trying to do.
Can I just make it larger?
You did sacrifice a little bit of size for the sake of being able to do other stuff. Yeah, you can go a little larger.
Oh, I can make it as big as I can, just to like actually stand a chance against the thing.
Okay. So what's the plan?
I want to make the creature like fly over to the cat. Just like like do a little barking noise or
It doesn't have vocal cords. I mean, you can use your dynamic power to make it emit some kind of sound. You're just gonna fly by and try to get its attention that way. It takes note of you. Roll, I guess, a persuasion check. That does exist in the system, right? I still got Cthulhu on the brain.
Persuasion?
Yes.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, persuasion.
Total?
Yeah.
Where's the screen when you are in?
Yeah, I don't have enough. That's supposed to be.
Okay, it takes note of you flying by, looks, but the metal like hits it in the face and get distraction. It goes back to drinking the metal from the sky. You do notice, however, when it turns to look at you, that creates a very small opening beneath its shoulder for a second. When it goes back to drinking, it closes back up.
I want to then I'm creature like, how is it laying back?
Its back's kind of cupped like that, like it was sitting in a big hammock almost. There's the bowl of volcano, and it's sitting in top of that. Most of its back's going across that, but its head and its front legs are kind of on one side, and it's drinking the lava that's falling down on it and trying to catch other parts of it and direct it into its mouth. Its rear legs are kicking, kind of like playing, and its tail just wagging. And when I say its tail is wagging, it's nearly 100 foot long, and it's slinging molten iron, making demons all over the place.
I want the creature to my creature to jump on its belly and try and get its attention that way.
Okay, roll a spell attack.
Yeah,
Are you trying to attack it and hurt it, or just jumping on it? In
jump
general.
on it and trying to get its attention, hitting it.
Okay.
Do I still have to roll spell attack?
Yes.
17 plus 82.
Mm-hmm. Okay, using a rank 6 effect, you're gonna roll 66 base damage for the attack, and then add your wisdom modifier. And any massive damage you have that applies to stone or everything. I don't know what massive damages you have.
I think so.
Boo, boo.
Daddy, what's 25 plus 77?
You did.
102.
It's a nice drawing.
I add my wisdom roll. What's it? 102, 102, 102.
Yeah, I'll show you. It's Chico. My notes are on the side. In your notes.
Chico in human form?
Well, no, she's got horns.
Oh, I
In
see.
your ogre form, you have demonic features.
Oh,
Like there's not smooth skin, and there'd be sharp teeth. And,
Yeah, your character is kind of beastly right now.
and you're pretty for an Oni, but they're still demonic ogres. Neither demons nor ogres are known for being pretty.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, I can totally fix that.
Yeah, you'd have to go a bit more darkly, yeah.
Yeah.
102 because I don't have the
Not fairy princess.
Not Milan.
That's what I was thinking of. Okay.
Milan, you had sort of a Mulan look with horns.
little bit, yeah.
You have to remember Oni look more devilish,
Yep.
especially with their horns.
You feel like it does a tad bit of damage. It doesn't visually seem hurt. It does get its attention, however. It immediately curls up and stares straight at your construct and reaches to swipe at it.
Do I use my AC or?
You would actually roll a contested spell attack to try and dodge,
Oh, so whatever I roll, just 82.
and that'll be worse, but it got to hit. Excuse me, goodness.
90 something.
Yeah, it does not land a solid hit. It manages to clip it just a little bit, but you can recover and still fly away. Does, however, really get its attention. You guys,
Nice.
yeah.
Perfect.
I will need a reflex
Okay.
dexterity. Caught myself. Dexterity saving throw from everyone on the disc. There
Come
are,
on.
oh, there's
Can
molten
can it be-
iron flame being
can it-
flung all over the place as the cat snatches forward. What were you saying, Deanne? I'm sorry.
Nothing. I have a feat for that.
Oh, you use a different ability score.
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke like, could it be strength? But I have a feat for it.
Was it athletics?
It's a dexterity saving throw.
Ah,
Oh, save and throw still.
Nice.
Save and throw.
Oh, okay. That made me think only one. I was like, wait, what? I'm so confused. Cool. So you're fine.
Plus,
And everybody's adding Dion's charisma.
yeah, 76, 50, add 56. I roll 76.
Nice.
77 on a 7. Oh, no, 78 on a 7.
Good one.
And did y'all get that charisma modifier 56?
You know what my total score? The 125.
That's good enough. Did you roll yours, love?
I'm around, it's just one around.
Oh, you're out there too. You need to make the same roll. Sorry that I did not stipulate that.
Natural 19, dexterity, but +8 and +37.
Plus 56, my charisma mod.
So that's
A lot.
I don't do the math. I just the numbers.
What were your numbers?
It's like 90 something. It's 90 something.
Yeah.
okay. I don't believe anyone failed that. There is a literal rain of molten droplets. The gargantuan cat, it continues to behave like a cat as it is pounced on by Gildred's little stone lizard creature. Swats at it, gets a little piece of it, but the lizard continues to fly and evade it as it rolls forward and promptly falls off the edge of the volcano into the ash cloud. Less than 2 seconds later, this mountain-sized cat comes flying up out of the ash cloud and goes to swing at you again. Yeah. Not you directly, your construct.
We should go. Well, it's distracted.
There is now a steady stream of this molten liquid going neatly down into the center, not touching the edges. There is a gap.
I'm going to concentrate on it.
Daddy,
Okay.
Let's see if I can pull it towards me.
daddy.
Good.
When What did you get for the attack at the construct?
What did you get?
A natural 20. with
Oh.
Plus 82, which is 102.
You had me a natural 20. That'll do it. It slashes through the air and misses you and then disappears again. The problem with this, when it comes up through the ash cloud, it scatters this stone dust everywhere. It's not to you guys yet, but there is what is practically a wall of ash coming at you that will obscure visibility.
I will cast control weather and make it windy as hell, trying to blow the ash back.
And
Good call. That has a casting time, correct?
No, it's instantaneous.
I'm gonna fly at 100 miles per hour and spin the dust away.
You are?
Uh-huh.
He's already blowing the wind away.
Yeah, he's blowing the wind away. You need to focus on your construct.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing a great job. Keep it up. There is very clearly an opening to go into the spout of the volcano. I mean, there's a river of molten iron pouring down into it, but there is room to get in around it without touching it.
Sonic, can you get us down close enough to get in there?
It looks like we can all fit. This thing's dreadfully slow, but it'll get us there.
Let's go.
And she starts moving it. It moves at 30 feet per round. It's not really slow, but it's not fast enough either. But it's getting you there. You're concentrating on it, trying to see if you can pull it towards you. You have dynamic power blades and dynamic power fire, correct?
And then, yeah,
Okay. Roll a power usage check. Make sure you use a spell attack. What's your total? Okay, it bubbles and spits in your general direction, but not a result that you would consider a success by any measure.
and it's literally Sam who's going to shut up. I rolled one.
Started it then.
All right, giant kitty bursts back up, this time running up the side of the mountain. Almost bumps into the disc. Fortunately, doesn't take note of you guys, drifting ever so slowly towards it, but it's close enough that if you wanted to, you can jump onto it. I wouldn't suggest it, but
The
just,
cat?
We're not done with the
Yeah.
molten.
it is searching the sky feverishly, trying to locate your construct. When it sees it, it crouches down. We've all seen this behavior. It goes to pounce.
What?
Yes.
Cat? Where's my cat?
Probably. As it does so, its tail swishes back and hits the bottom of the disc. Need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw. Alternatively, you could do athletics or acrobatics to try and maintain a hold.
I'll use my athletics.
You're on your sword. You're okay.
I can come in.
You were flying. It's for those on the disc.
Sorry, that was very dramatic for what just happened. Doing dex save so I can add his bonus.
56
Yeah,
is
Oh, I am rolling really low. I got a 6, so that is 133.
Damn, very nice.
That's low.
You said you got a 46. Did I hear that right, Dion?
no. I was telling everybody what my charisma modifier.
That's right.
was.
Your mod's higher than that. You can't.
Yeah. 73 is what I got.
Okay. You guys stumble just a tad bit, but collectively, you're able to brace each other. There's no handrails or anything to grab onto.
Excuse me, they all
Talia's
stumble.
sea legs,
I casually
however.
just, yeah.
Yeah, Talia's got them sea legs, and she's used to the ground beneath her feet bucking and rolling. So
Everyone's good, no one fell off.
Mhm.
Okay.
may need some fresh undergarments, but nobody's physically hurt yet. Now, whiffed hardcore. I rolled a natural 3 for the attack roll, but it does attempt to pounce at the construct, and it disappears back down through the ash cloud. Fortunately, there is a strong enough wind blowing, keeping the ash away from it. You do kind of notice, though, that as it's blowing, it's pulling more dust up, and it's starting to curl back around, like you might actually be starting to create a bit of a weather pattern where there wasn't one.
Okay, yeah.
Look at
That's
it,
theoretical.
look at the tornado.
Yeah, it's affecting the air in the entire biome.
Mm,
However large it is, you can see that it's the change in air pressure is not just going to be here.
okay, yeah. But for now, we're good.
Hmm?
Okay.
How close are we to the volcano?
Not close enough, but substantially closer. You're guessing maybe 2 more minutes. The issue with that is you haven't seen the cat for about half a minute.
Okay, we're gonna
Can I use telekinesis to speed this disc up?
You cannot move the disc itself, but in your effort, you realize you can perform the same thing and move everyone much faster.
Cool, you can use your energy then.
Yeah, if you just create a disc of your energy, everybody can step onto that, and you can move it much faster than this thing.
That's what I'll do. How much is that gonna cost me?
Tensor's floating disc is what, 2nd level? Is that right? But how fast you want it to go? Fast enough, motherfucker?
Yes.
Okay, add a shield so nobody gets blown off.
I'll be extending not only the disc, I'll be extending my energy to everybody's body. It will be basically more of a cube than a disc.
Cool.
Is yours radiant?
No, it's
Yeah.
it's psychic.
Oh, okay.
Or yeah.
I was gonna say if it was radiant, now that would hurt me.
Your telekinesis is what, rank 6?
Please tell me I've upgraded this. Oh, wake up.
Upgrade. Oh,
I'm pretty sure there's a couple of ranks in there.
No, it's only rank 4.
Okay.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, that's enough for what you're trying to do. Cast it use it as a 4th level spell effect. I believe that's what, 9 energy points.
All right, everybody, we need to speed this up.
Yes, yeah.
And I'll focus for a moment and conjure, and then a cube, one side open for everybody to step into. All right, everybody, just step in close to me, and I'll get us all closer a little faster.
As they are stepping closer, Gildred drifts over, and we're all getting ready. Are you staying on your thing?
Yeah.
Your swords? Are you going to step into the telekinetic bubble, or are you going to try and follow with your wings?
I'm good at going to the top of the bubble.
Okay, you step into the bubble as Makiko and Brasana are preparing to transfer from the disc over to the telekinetic bubble. Gargantua Kitty reappears, this time coming up directly beneath all of you. It pushes your energy and the disc in 2 different directions, actually disrupts the tensor spell. Makiko and Brasana both pitifully failed in the attempt at trying to maintain balance.
Cool, immediately cast fly on both of them.
Okay.
Cast what?
Fine.
Brasana recognizes the energy and corrects her trajectory almost instantly. Makiko's never flown before, and there's a bit of crash test dummy going on.
She's not following anymore.
Not per se, but she does inadvertently fly into the stone cat's hide one good time.
Yeah.
Catches a nice little lump, but otherwise, okay.
They have 60 feet of movement now.
Brasana uses it to get to the teleconnect platform with everyone else. Oh, no, correction. She flies over to Makiko, grabs her and says, just relax, hun. I got you. Not the best situation for first-time flyers. You don't hear what Makiko says in response, but Brasana is laughing very heartily.
I can read lips though. Is she facing me?
No.
Fine.
And as they get closer, I will release whichever side they approach of my barrier to allow them to come in.
Cool. Okay. Now, it would seem at this point, at least, everyone is in and safe, ready to go.
All right, and
It got a hold of your construct that time, natural 20. Straight swat, bears it down to the ground. When it makes contact with the ground, you feel it being shattered.
Yeah, that's not.
That frees up your concentration, though. It lasted just long enough.
This is like,
as soon as I get the chance, I will put the full brunt of my force to magneto orb us into the volcano's opening.
Yeah, a couple of people won't be that impressed, but you haul ass and get in there very quickly, much faster than you were moving before. As you pass through, there is about a 15-foot gap between the curtain of molten lava that's falling down into the volcano and the actual rim of the stone itself. You guys pass through. What you see initially is pretty shocking. It seems to be a hollow shell. The inside of it is worked iron with rust spreading through it a little bit, and directly inside the lip of stone. Remember how I said the molten iron was flowing around the base of the ball and then falling in just inside the edge? Well, about 15 feet below that lip, jutting out and curving up just a little bit, is almost like a gutter system that's rigged, and it catches that molten iron and funnels it down along the sides of the stone. When you look down beneath it, there is a very large pool, several feet beneath a stone floor, while falling through a huge opening that has guardrails around it, solid metal flooring, walls all over the place, scattered with hundreds of stone statues, various types of creatures, humanoids. There seems to be representations of who knows what. I mean, you recognize some elves, maybe humans, different sizes, a couple of different giants, what looks like be a dragon, and they're life size, scattered all over the place in this massive chamber.
like, do they look sculpted, or are we looking at a Medusa cave?
With your true sight goggles on,
Yes, always.
petrified beings, one and all.
Keep your eyes peeled, but maybe don't. Careful what you're looking at. Something's petrifying people down here. Shh, be cautious.
Real quick, before we go into the cave, can I like make another stone creature?
From outside,
Mhm.
I don't see one not.
Is there like a thing where I could like see through its eyes or something like that?
You could do that.
Because, and I also want to make it look like that.
Yeah, I keep leaning over and I can just open this quick.
Cat, this is cat.
Whoa. Okay. I like the way you think. Do you find that in my Pinterest feed?
I'm just opening Pinterest for the thing, and I typed in mythological beasts. Yeah,
I do like that. That is really cool.
it's where I found the last 3 pictures. The Spinal Thing, Godzilla, and this new kitty cat.
All right. Looking through, you don't see anything moving initially. It seems to be as desolate as the rest of the area does. The floor, which is easily 400 or 500 feet down, spreads out into a chamber that's easily 200 yards across. I mean, it's massive. The only feature that stands out aside from the statues, once you realize that there are people that are petrified, you can see why they're in, like, they were frozen during an action of some sort. They don't look like they were standing there. They were obviously in the middle of doing something, and then, were
Are they
petrified.
in like attack poses? Are they really they're trying to fight something, or it's more like just fear?
Doing a job.
Doing a job, yeah.
Heavy variance.
Okay.
Some of them look shocked and terrified. Some of them look like they're angrily attacking. Some look like one in particular looks like somebody has a cocky grin on his face, a little halfling, obviously creeping around something, looking very cocky, but stuck that way. Various states as expressed.
Humanoids.
The dragon, very noteworthy. Doesn't seem to be particularly old. It's not much larger than what Gildred can assume, or has assumed the shape of before. You don't recognize the scale patterns at all, or the shape of it. It doesn't look like a normal dragon. And it appears to have a casual posture. Almost as if it was laying down, raised its head.
Are they all clustered together, or
They look like they've been arranged like a showroom.
okay? So they might not have been petrified here. They were caught.
Looking at them, it seems incredibly unlikely that they were petrified here, particularly the halfling. You can see solid flat edge on its hand where it looks like its hand was up against something when it was petrified, and it was removed from it since then.
So these were petrified elsewhere and brought here. As a shame, that's not creepy at all. I'm gonna quickly cast locate object again. Get a better bearing where the sun might be.
It seems to be close to the center of the room.
And that'll be it.
That I don't think I actually got to that part.
sorry.
The one feature that stands out aside from all the figures, there is a dais in the center of the room that has a collection of chests that are all seem to be made out of stone, and a throne with a dude sitting in it.
Oh. Yeah,
Um,
that's why I put it out.
Yeah, it's pretty relevant. He appears to be crafted from stone, like everything else, but is obviously wearing some clothing. I apologize to people that watch this later and don't really know the words to describe this. It looks like a humanoid rock wearing a red tabard with some old faded golden filigree. Does have the 6 stones hovering around its head that seem to be conjoined with the beams of energy that almost, the Omega sun, is that what it looks like?
That
Similar to, but the hands, there are large pieces of stone that are shaped a lot like maybe some barbed gladiators gauntlets, as good as I can describe it. The stone of its body seems to emulate plate armor in some fashion. It does not move, has not acknowledged you. The only thing that really draws your attention to it is the aqua colored energy that joins the stones hovering around its head.
Can I tell what this energy might be at all?
It seems to be enchantment magic that would be very typical of a construct. Pretty potent
Oh,
for what it is, but it appears to be some sort of construct. Roll an Arcana check, though.
before I roll it, my new ability that we figured out for my legendary thing. Do I need to choose to do that before I roll? Or can I do it after I see my roll? But like before I know the result.
I believe the text is you can choose to automatically succeed. I don't think it goes
Even
any
after I
deeper than
roll?
that. Yeah.
I'm gonna, oh wait, it was a 1 and then rolled over to a 19.
Nice.
So I was going to be like, I'm gonna choose to succeed, but it rolled to a 19. So let's no. 72.
With your true sight goggles and your intimate connection with all types of magic, you can notice with the typical enchantment that binds energy and a limited intelligence, there's also some type of necromantic energy involved, and there is a soul bound to it as well.
Okay.
So whatever this is probably sentient. It's not under control. It's its own being.
I will share that information with the party.
It's also very powerful. And there's a fuck ton of energy.
Knowing that those orbs and the energy around it is what is basically making it a construct, do I have reason to believe that taking the orb out could unpower it?
They are tied to the energy, but you don't know if they are powering it. You would have to get closer and spend a little bit more time examining it.
Okay.
It could be a power source, it could be an amplifier, it could be decoration.
Mm.
You're gonna drive yourself nuts, Jackson.
Is that their own language?
Yes.
Oh.
So for those who don't know, my wife made up a language several years ago in real life. It's a written language, and she taught Ray how to read it. So they are passing notes back and forth like we're in middle school in this artificial language. That
Is that what was that before medication?
Yeah, I see it now.
Because I had my own language before medication. It was
Hey,
pretty
she did.
insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way before medication. She made this in grade school.
Yeah, I was in, I was a freshman in high school when I created this language.
It's some kind of crazy hybrid of Greek and English. Like it doesn't even look like normal lettering.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's pretty cool though, and apparently it's real. They can understand
So
it.
what? I didn't quite understand the last. What are we looking at? The last part?
Yeah, the big dude in the sitting in the throne.
Okay.
Ray was asking if she had reason to believe that separating the stones from him could effectively power him down. And I said it's possible, but it's difficult to say for sure. Okay, now here is the question. It is 15 minutes till midnight. You said there's no way you're staying up till 1, and you guys did manage in true fashion, like you almost always do, to circumvent the normal level encounters and skip straight to boss fight. This guy's not going to go down fast or easy. It's going to take a while. Do we want to get into this now, or do we want to end it? And
Well, I'm curious about this particular situation. I mean, I don't mind ending on an encounter, but I'm curious about this. I'm curious about this stone figure. Can I reach out and dislodge? Feel? Can I feel with telekinesis? Can I feel? Well,
That is going to be an act of aggression. That will be us deciding we are fighting this thing.
let him finish what he's saying. I
Yeah.
think he's asking a different question than you think.
Mm.
You know, like just to probe and see if you can make contact with it.
yes. I just want to see if I can feel the energy.
So you just
Like
kind of reach out and touch it.
just yes.
Okay. roll a power usage or a spell attack roll. And you've already established that you're being delicate.
Yes, that's a natural 18.
So. Let's not do that.
It's 89, I think. Getting tired. That's, yeah, 79. 79.
There is an aura around the stones that you interact with that prevents you from touching the stones themselves. But as you assert a little bit of force on it, it does transfer that force to the stone, like it moves it, but you're not able to touch it directly. As soon as you do, the head raises up and turns.
And I pull back.
That's it. It doesn't move otherwise.
I bring down my field. I
Okay.
don't continue.
Yeah, you didn't have to move or do anything else. You didn't have to be close for that. But yeah, you're able to interact with it, but it's aware.
Ugh.
In the session where they went over the kitty battle.
What, outside? You guys are inside now. I thought you were bringing the kitty inside.
No,
We're just distracting the kitty.
All right.
Yeah, the idea was never to destroy that kitty. It's too big. It's too big.
yeah, I would have that.
So it seems any movement of the stones is going to arouse this being.
Yeah, so we need to decide if we're gonna try to talk or we should just.
Dion, roll a wisdom save.
Oh, God, okay. Apparently that's a pretty attack.
No.
I believe you.
It's a low roll, but I mean,
I mean, your saves are pretty.
bad. Not too bad. Oh. $87.
Okay. You there's been a lot of adrenaline. You didn't notice it initially, but as your divine sense is always semi-active, there are more presences here that are tickling the back of your brain than normal. Take a second to focus on it. You sense other demonic presences. There are some undead in here. And there are also, to your surprise, quite a few celestial beings scattered amongst the trophies or statues.
It doesn't seem we're alone in here. There may be some undead creatures about. Seems a few celestials too. I'm not sure exactly where,
Knowing that with my
what the nature is, but they're here. I can feel them.
You see what looks to be not Knights Templar per se, but appear to be holy warriors wearing the holy symbol of Om. But they all appear to be, now that you're focusing on them, Aasimar blooded to some degree. A couple have wings, most do not, but they all seem to have that same celestial look about them and their overall facial features.
Just out of curiosity, I need to go back and look. Can my heal power reverse petrification?
I do not know for sure, but I was researching petrification earlier. There are only 2 ways in the known 5e universe to get rid
Greater
of it,
restoration
and
wish.
which is used to duplicate it.
Right. So that's why I don't know my healing power. My healing power acts as resurrection and restoring of limbs and all that. So.
That's the only spell-like ways.
Right.
Any creature that can petrify, some part of its anatomy can be used to make either a salve or an oil or
Right.
something that can reverse it. Like for cockatrices, you need fresh feathers and you can make a balm.
Right.
For Medusa, you need like the snake venom from the snake hair.
Mhm.
I was just guessing that.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I've never fought a Medusa,
That's
so I don't know.
fresh blood. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm just curious.
But it needs to be a specific side of Medusa's blood.
Or you need to be a second edition character, in which Stone to Flesh was a spell created for just such instances, but does not exist in 5e.
Just
Flesh to Stone.
stone.
Yeah, Stone to Flesh doesn't exist anymore. Which made my nefarious plans even worse. Sorry,
I just realized it's not the snake venom. I actually know you need to have the blood of Medusa from the right side. If it's on the left, it's a deadly poison.
guys. Is that a fact?
Yeah.
Look at you, Mr. Greek mythology.
Just out of curiosity, either of you have greater restoration yet? I think. I don't know. Let's get it. Do you have greater restoration yet?
Paladins don't get greater restoration.
It's a 5th level spells. So I don't know if you have 5th level spells yet.
It's no, we don't have it.
Oh, you don't get it?
I do not get greater restoration.
You
I'm looking at
don't.
it in the book right now.
Greater restoration.
That's weird.
I can use it.
Yeah, you have it. So if there's anyone down there we want to unpetrify, we can.
Use a dragon? Maybe.
Dragons are, we have no idea what kind of dragon it is. It could be another bad guy. We have to fight.
You could roll a nature check.
Can't dispel magic on petrify?
No, because it's not always magic.
That is cited specifically as the most common get out of bullshit card that people try to play. And it's definitely not powerful enough.
Oh, I know. I get it. I wouldn't try and do
No,
that.
I just brought it up because I read that exact argument and everybody was like, no, you can argue 10 ways from Tuesday that it could theoretically work, but the spell that causes it is stronger than the dispel magic spell. It's meant to be almost impossible to get around.
Well, that petrification is usually a natural ability. It's not a
Yeah,
spell.
and it doesn't become permanent.
Just your
until after
camera,
a certain
Steve.
grace period where the magic can be defeated. So there is a small window where dispel magic and other effects could potentially work, but after that time period is up, you're a statue.
Oh, just your camera. Can't see half your head, man.
Is that better?
Oh yeah.
I love that.
I just checked the time. It's 5 o'clock over here.
Yeah, I think we're wrapping up.
Yeah. I don't think we should
No.
really, because it's looking like it's feeling like we are going to have some trouble, guys.
No
We
shit.
should.
We're in the middle of a
right.
volcano.
The nature check. Okay. You don't know what type of dragon it is, but looking at it, you can tell that it is a crystal dragon.
Crystal dragon.
So what do we know about crystal dragon?
They appear to be physically made of precious stones or gems. Not a crystal dragon, a gem dragon. A crystal dragon is a type of gem dragon. They are not magical. They're psychic in nature or psionic in nature, and hyper rare.
But do we know, like, because, you know, chromatic,
There are different types. They're typically crystal, which are clear, commonly associated with diamonds. There's amethyst, emerald, sapphire, and ruby.
Can we tell which
I
gem
think there's
dragon
like
it is?
topaz. There's several different varieties. You cannot tell. You've never seen one. There are not many accounts of them, and they're not dictated by their shape very much, so much as the color and clarity.
I was more like worried because like certain dragons are more prone to being selfish and in their own head. We know about crystal dragons and that, or gem dragons in that regard.
Mhm.
Whether or not they actually want to help if they were to petrify them.
There's not a whole lot of documentation about them.
Okay.
Any lore that either of you would remember, there's a strong chance that you've read about them before. 70 years researching. You read about pretty much everything.
Yeah.
This is definitely his cup of tea.
Right. No, that's what I was asking you now.
No, the most that you can determine is that it is some type of gem dragon.
I was
No.
gonna tell you, but this dragon.
And
Gem dragon.
it's wait, is it petrified?
Yep.
So there is, yes, it's very powerful. Force.
Young dragon. Caught asleep.
I want to create like a little stone creature, like.
Ah,
I want to distract.
That's adorable.
I want to distract the stone guy with the little butterfly dragon.
I don't know if it'll work. It's not exactly a cat.
So I want to make it fly into it.
You don't have any problems. You can have a little piece break off from the huge cat that you brought down in here. Remember, everything in here is made out of metal except for the petrified trophies. But you brought a giant cat statue in with you, so you got stone to work with. Smart thinking. They have no problems making a little butterfly. It flutters around. You can fly all the way up to the throne. It does not seem to react. How close do you actually want to get to him?
Like about this far from his face.
Within a foot or so? Okay. When it flies within 1 foot and a bolt indirectly arches out and comes back and strikes of that same turquoise energy from the picture Ryan said, it strikes your little butterfly and it bursts into a little cloud of dust.
Okay.
There's a bright flash of azure colored energy and it's just gone.
Okay.
The figure sitting on the throne does not react, doesn't flinch, doesn't move at all.
Yeah, so Loki's object's still up. Let me guess. It's right where he is.
It is in him.
In him. Okay. Can they stop eating the pieces of the weapon? That'd be great.
I have to eat that one too.
Did you eat the last one?
Yeah.
You shouldn't eat it. She touched it and it melted into her.
Oh, I missed that somehow.
Again, the demon lord. missed that.
No, I knew that. I
That's-
missed the part about it melting and seeing her.
so
Okay, I just heard the demon north part, I guess.
Yeah.
The rest is
Just set out the rest of it. It's okay.
Oh, I'm gonna say this in check. We need to save that gem dragon.
but we'll save everyone. We're just gonna deal with him first.
Okay, those with heightened hearing and Aurora hear the sound of very quietly, sounds like stone grinding on stone, followed by this very faint cracking sounds. And we all know the sound when a handful of dirt or rocks drops onto metal, like sand and small pebbles bouncing off the metal off in one corner of the room. Now, again, this is an enormous room, but you definitely hear that sound.
I'm gonna look up.
Looking up at the ceiling yields nothing. It's all metal. As your gaze settles, you go to look down from the ceiling. You do hear, all of you hear, even those without the heightened hearing, a much more pronounced sound of pebbles and rocks clattering across the metal floor. And those that were gazing at the ceiling, a dark shadow actually flies across your field of vision incredibly fast. Something roughly man-sized with wings. And you hear weird shriek, kind of hard to pinpoint. It sounds animalistic, very primal, high-pitched squeal that echoes back off of the metallic walls. And then several other answering shrieks and the sound of metal rocks bursting. And you see several other figures jump up into the air, scattered throughout the trophy room as several of the statues animate, and we will call it there.
Boy.
oh I can't.
Something right.
I'm surprisingly not as exhausted as I thought I would be with 6 hours of sleep last night.
I am still shattered.
That gem dragon better not be.
I'm tired as crap.
Yeah, I didn't fall asleep till like 2 this afternoon and woke up at 8. And that was my 2 days worth of sleep.
Yeah, that's just not enough.
No.
Okay, I don't have any prep to do. I'm ready to pick this up whenever everybody else is. I didn't really want to run next week, even though that's my normal week. It's on my mom's birthday. Not usually a great day for me, but I'm definitely willing to game anyway. That'll probably help cheer me up.
That'll be my game, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've ran for some shit in that game too.
You gotta stop.
Yeah, Dion, you're missing the bank heist.
All right. Do you want to recording?
Yes.
We done recording?
No, we can do highlights first.
Let's do it.
I don't know, but giant cat thing was pretty cool.
Mm.
Yeah, the lore was very important.
Me, it's surprisingly not being stabbed by Dion to get off his shoulders.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at that one too.
Yeah.
Well, we were kind of in the middle of things.
That's very true. It was pretty hectic.
All right, you wanna know my real favorite part?
And I'm chivalrous. I am a sort of a knight.
Sort of.
And,
Very
you know,
knight-like.
yeah, a woman who's afraid. It's a
Repeat my favorite part of life.
Who you saying is afraid?
That doesn't relate directly. My favorite part was Talia slipping the Mickey to Makiko.
For no reason. Knock some people out now.
Yeah, just one up for the walls.
Was not
So we
even
can, you know.
didn't even sneak it. It was just, hey, have this one instead.
I'm surprised the people didn't kill you.
They can all do
yeah.
Okay. So, depending upon how things go in here, I had considered creating a sidekick. But if somebody wanted to pick it up, points would have to be invested to maintain it later on. Would any of you actually have an interest in running a sidekick?
Like Makito?
Not like one of them.
Potentially.
Me?
But any pre-existing NPCs with certain limitations could become sidekicks. Makiko could not though, because she's privy to knowledge that you guys can't have yet.
I can't do it because eventually I will.
But if you wanted to take points for Brasana,
Just take control of this one.
I could let you run her in combat without having to tell you any secrets and just have her reveal shit when it comes around.
Okay.
But Makiko, just the stuff that she can do, I don't want y'all knowing that yet.
Jackson is putting his hand up to do possibly be one. Have one.
I'm holding my hand out.
Sorry, baby, didn't see you there. But got your back. See how that worked?
I saw it in the corner of my eye. That's why I was like, "Yep, Jackson wants to talk."
Well, I plan on having a squire eventually. I'm dreading that.
I'm raising my hand to volunteer to have it.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
yeah. He got ahead of me on that one. I think Gildren wants a gem dragon. But if you wanted to sidekick Persona, you could totally do that. That would save me a lot of trouble. I'm gonna make her more useful in combat because I wouldn't be forgetting about her all the time.
Yeah.
After managing an entire menagerie in the game that Loretta is running, 1 or 2 pets or followers is manageable. I wouldn't go past that though, trust me. Migraine City.
I don't have a lot of points.
I think the one for me would be Kaiju if I decided to get a sidekick.
Now that would be fun to write up.
That would be really fun.
But what's going to be even more fun than that would be is when we get around to your story arc because pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Everybody's
be fun.
gonna love the pirates.
Yeah,
Speaking-
that's gonna be
Well, you
fun.
talking about sidekicks, when we get out of here, when we whip all these demons, hopefully.
If
Next time we go to a big city, I'm gonna be looking for a squire, man. So you just get ready, Steve. I'm gonna hire somebody to.
Hey, well, you would have to write them up and maintain them, but
Yeah,
that's totally there as an option.
that's gonna be trouble, but that'll be fun.
Just one question. When you said the statues were exploding, you mean like they were unpetrified and
Mhm. The people that were, the beings that were petrified were bursting out of stone shells and reanimating again. Mhm.
okay. What I started that first, then I started thinking that something ran through it, and brought to it.
But the first thing that they saw dashed or flew across through the air up near the ceiling. And people that were looking above to see what rock were falling from there noticed it. And there are no rocks up above, it's all metal. It's like inside a big house we built out of metal walls and arc.
So the creepy rain statue probably across the ceiling.
No, it was flying,
Okay, either way.
ish.
Uh-huh.
Since that bothers you so much, I mean, I can accommodate.
Wait a
All right. My highlight as well was the old using the bait to get the giant kitty off the volcano. That was classic. My favorite part about that though was the fact that the dice supported it up until you guys made it in. I finally caught the little fucker with a natural 20 as you guys were going into the volcano. And I wasn't letting you guys get in there scot-free. The dice demanded it. I didn't roll for shit tonight.
saying that, my dice went over a 10 at all night.
My guys were nice to me. Oh,
Okay. Now, here's a real question.
Well, luckily we ran into a lot of saving throws, which saved me.
Yeah. You save everyone when it comes to saving throws. It's beautiful. Okay. I know we're really, really close to the next level.
yeah.
Am I gonna be a dick or not?
You know what? I wouldn't be mad if we hold off. It's not like it's gonna.
Gosh.
What?
Someone wants a new spell.
If we would have started a little bit earlier.
It's the game changer. Like that's when shit gets real.
The what? What'd you say?
Level 17 is the game changer. That's when shit gets real. That's when you're fighting stuff that's like out of this world. So it's terrifying to give him that allowance. But
That's
17
9th
is-
level spell.
that-
That's meteor swarms and worse.
I'm a paladin. My spells got pretty good. Not like
I've
a
been really
sorcerer.
nice. I haven't
17
used,
paladin gives you quick level spells.
I haven't even touched on spellcasters on my
I-
end.
I was just, but I'm only partially a spellcaster. I was checking out.
You get quick level spells at level 17.
I know.
Almost every class has something badass that you get at level 17.
17.
I mean, I saw Raised Dead, which was pretty cool.
I don't get a level 17 possibility, but yeah.
Okay, well, I'll give you guys the option. You can vote as a party. I was going to do my default 5K experience for a relatively short session, but that puts you 2,500 short of the level. I can either give you an extra PowerPoint boost to ease the pain of being just short, or we can skimp on the points a little bit and go straight for the next level.
I really don't. I'm not that bothered because it only gives me one extra to my sneak attack dice. And yeah, I don't have anything else that I can think of. That
Now,
I really, like, there's no rush for me.
you say PowerPoints are how much experience?
We can either get a level or get a PowerPoint boost.
What do you,
Yeah, can we level up?
what, it- is 15, is 15 right now gonna help anybody that much?
We're going to level 17.
Total level 17. Well, you got a couple of mystic levels.
Oh, I got one mystic level.
Yeah, I want to level up.
It's 3 for level.
I
Wait a minute.
I was
Oh,
distracted.
shit, we've done.
I think you've been outvoted.
No, wait a minute. What level are we right now?
16.
Dude.
You
Oh,
should
I'm
be 15 paladin, 1 mystic.
Yeah, I'm a level behind, that's why.
Jackson doesn't care about the level. He wants to go rescue that dragon.
We'll do that after we fight this one. I don't know if it's a quick or not yet.
If it's still there and we're not fighting it.
Well, if we don't unpetrify it, it's fine.
What's our experience cap right now?
You're 7,500 away from the next level.
It's fine as long as it's petrified. Nothing's gonna happen to it.
225,000?
That's what our current level cap is, but I don't think we're gonna read a level in range.
Alright,
Just point that out there.
so I have my experience right, I had my level wrong. I must have forgot to take my level up.
Okay.
So
We're
I
gonna
go
do-
I go to 16 as a paladin.
Yes. All right. It doesn't really matter what you vote at this point. It's already 3 to however many. So we're gonna do the 7,500 experience to get everybody to level, and we'll do 5 power points.
I don't care what this.
Right.
Say 75.
It'll put you at 225, which is the level cap.
Is it 5?
5 PowerPoints.
Okay, so
Write it down in your notebook next to your,
Or you can go to your character doc. At the very top of your character sheet, above your stat block, there's a section for right there. So you got 6. You just add to it.
What's the new cap?
I'm looking at full spells. I have no cares about what the new cap is.
you said 5 PP.
Mhm. And the reason she is over here foaming at the mouth is she can cast the wish spell now.
What is the new cap? 5?
I don't know.
Let me see if I can find it.
She doesn't know, she don't care.
And I get a notification.
I heard that.
We need to work on my class.
Yeah, because you just hit level 3 and then you
No, I hit level 6.
6 second class ability. Okay. So right now you just have the building in the
The
middle.
new
Right.
cap is 265,000.
Thank you, because I was failing hard. I was somehow looking at the artificer class instead of the experience chart. I really don't know where I turned wrong.
There's so many other good macros too.
Yeah, we do need to talk about that. We had plans for it.
Being tired,
Huh?
being tired.
Kind of, sort of.
I'm wired. I drank 3 of these
Oh,
full of coffee.
I could go for some more coffee.
Okay.
I'm gonna say night then to everyone.
All right. Good night, Steve-O. Thank you for being patient. Sorry that it was so slow. No, it's rough. We're tired like that.
It's all right. Like I said, I was taking a back seat. I'd rather let other people move before me,
Very cool.
apart from the control weather.
Hmm?
I'm happy I got to do that with you.
Wasn't it different having your own camera? And we can see you and hear you better?
Yeah.
Told you, buddy, we weren't ignoring you on purpose. We could barely tell you were there with the old camera set up. This is gonna be
I
better.
was ignoring you. I was ignoring you.
Well, not in my shoes, that's okay.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hey, y'all have a good night. I'm going to bed.
All right, good
Have a
night,
good night,
fellas.
guys.